Hey, family, what's going on with you? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me make sure everything's set up. Let me make sure my audio is good. Yep. Right mic, it's coming out of right camera. Hey, family. Let me make sure my camera is doing something. Hold on, family. Let me turn it around just a little bit so it won't be crooked. All right. I got 25 in here. I need everybody to like coming in the door. If you are not a subber, please sub this channel. Family, how is everyone doing? Y'all see my little gray hair? I'm getting my hair redone, y'all. Pray for me. Because I can't deal. Like I said, y'all, I've had gray hair since I was like 17, 18. No, 18. I had gray hair. So gray hair has always been a part of my life. Not a lot. It's a lot now. Well, it's not really a lot. It's just a little bit. But yeah, it's always been a part of my life. And don't say, saints, that it's wisdom. It's a sign of wisdom because I was young and dumb with a few strands of gray hair. Wasn't that dumb, no. So what's up, fam? What's going on? What's going on in the neighborhood? Let's see, who I got in here? Let's see. I know Ruhama asleep. I ain't gonna even Ruhama, hey! I'm just not saying it just because of y'all, but Ruhama has been on a break, a hiatus, because she's been trying to recoup from this weekend. Us YouTubers, we go and keep going and keep going. Let's see. Salama, everyone. Also, I wanted to tell everybody, and I wasn't going to say anything, but I guess we can make it public knowledge because I would try to keep certain little things private and try to wait for people to say yay or nay if they're good with them saying it. So Blacktastic kind of beat me to it, but I want everybody to keep Rochelle in your prayers. She is been sick. She's in a hospital, so y'all keep her in your prayers. Sis, because I know she's watching some of our videos. Sis, if you do see this video, I emailed you my phone number. Please call me or text me, or, well, if you're in the hospital, you can't text me. Take it back. That was kind of crazy, but you did email me. Ashawn, if you see this, email me because I wanna do something for her. But just anyone that knows how to get in touch with Ashawn or anyone, please help me get in touch with him because I want us to do something for her while she's in the hospital to bless her. So, but sis, we will definitely keep you in our prayers. We love you. We love you. We love you with the love of the Most High. And we pray that speedy recovery, sis. Speedy recovery. Is Rochelle in here, Sister Rochelle? I thought I saw. No, she's not. Yeah, keep her lifted, family. So I was trying to check and see if okay, y'all. Sadara, you've been cutting up. First, are you a man or a woman? The name sounds it sounds like a woman, but then I've made mistakes before. So just let me know. Sadara Halliburton. Let me know. But I saw what you did a couple days ago. You done went on somebody else's channel and cut up. I said, look at this. It was hilarious. Okay, man. You cut up. That was funny. And then they tried to play like they won. Stay off these channels. I told y'all. Stay off these channels because these saints like to play games with mics and play like they somebody hit somebody real quick and then be like, oh, okay, I made it. Saints. So what's going on, folks? I want to let y'all know I took the video down because my brother Muhammad called me. He wanted me to take the video down. He wanted me to sit down and have a conversation. which I'm always open for. Um, I'm always open to talk to people. So he says, sis, just for a season, just can you do this for me? And I did that only for my brother Muhammad Tanzamore. Anybody else but Muhammad came to me and had a conversation and said, sis, just listen to me. So Muhammad Tanzamore. So shout out to him as well. Much love to him. He's a good guy. He's one of those that he thinks of the greater good of the community. And when I say the community, the Black family as a whole. If you be Christian, if you be Israelite, if you be Kemetic, if you be whatever, he thinks about the entire Black family. And he has a tendency to make you think like, they want to see this. So, which I respect. When he said it, I kind of backed away and said, okay, I get what you're saying. So, but oh, the Yakoba twins, they Black. And I give y'all my word. My word. They Black. They look like normal Black folks. Don't I mean they look like normal Black people. So I don't know how to explain, but they look like Black people with normal full lips. I mean, big noses. I'm just joking. I'm joking, just in case they watching. But they are Black. They're Black. They're brown more so, but they Black. So to answer that question, so is that the question you wanted to know? And like I said, I can vouch. I've talked to them face to face. I know how they look. I have to tell people that I'm not saying it's just cause I know. Not blackety black, but they on the browner end of the spectrum, but they are African. I don't want to say African American, but they're of African descent. They're not blackety black, but they're a little shade lighter than me, about the same color as me. A little shade light. They're a shade lighter than me, put it like that. But they blackety black. Don't worry about it. Um they like Lawrence Fishburne, put it like that. A little bit on that end of it. So that's it. Brown eyes, normal. Kinky hair, normal. Uh like I said, I've had facial conversations with them, like face to face conversations. So and they said they Black, they sound Black. But my allergies, y'all pray for me. This is allergy season. And y'all know how I get during allergy season. So let me get my little water. Y'all got my water just in case. I got my little tea. Well, this is coffee, but I drank that up earlier. Iced coffee. And then this mug I have right here is insulated, so I can have like ice things in here, and it'll sit, and the ice will stay ice. So this was from earlier today. Oh, my allergies, y'all pray for me. Allergy season is here in full effect. I'm gonna have to take me a Benadryl tonight because I feel it coming on me. But yeah, they look like us. They're a little on the, like I said, Lauren Fishburne, a little bit lighter than him, but they are of Black complexion. They are Black people. So no worry. Yeah, about that. Not quite. About the same color as Lawrence Fishburne. A little bit, lighter. They not that much lighter. They normal Black people. Oh no, you're good. You're good. You're good. But like I said, I can vouch for them. They of Black African American descent, however you want to put it. They call us African American. So I also want to do a live too, because I wanted to check and make sure. I heard about what happened to a couple of people's, lives. They having a couple of issues And I think it's not just us. It's a couple of other YouTubers that are having issues with their videos. So I don't know what it is. I feel like this, if IUIC can keep going, any of us can keep going. If ISUPK can keep going, we should be able to keep going. So interesting enough, their pages are still live, cussing and some stuff. And then we got to make sure we monitor every single word. Wow. Man, that's live. That's wild, man. That's wild. That's wild. That's wild. Y'all remember that? But why am I you got me out here. It's censorship to us. It ain't censorship to them. Because like I said, they can say whatever. Oh yeah. I'm not saying that word though. That word will not fall up out of my mouth. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hold on. Okay. Okay, I can see a little better now. But I think they watching these channels thick right now. I mean, heavily watching the channels. Heavily watching the channels. They heavy with these channels. Wow. What was he talking about for him to Issachar got kicked off his live? Did he talk about the trying to see. What did Issachar talk about? I'm trying to see what they talked about. Yeah, I know Pastor Kelly was supposed to be live tonight, but I saw what was happening in the background and I was like, wow. Yeah, they were talking about Oreo cookies. Okay. Oreo cookies. Man, that's interesting. I'm gonna be praying for y'all. And yeah, it can't talk about juice boxes right now. If you say juice box, y'all know what I'm saying. That's the word for the day, juice box. We sound crazy, y'all. I'm gonna change the subject. But with that being said, family, oh wow. Man, they beefing up. I'm trying to read these messages, y'all. Bear with me. Wow. Okay, I can't quit. Let me quit staring at the screen. But fam, what was I getting ready to say? I'm reading y'all comments. I'm finna stop reading y'all comments. I'm finna look up at my camera and not look down at my screen. Mods, be on point. Be on point. So I came out here to talk about, is my camera crooked? Tell me if I'm crooked or not. I came out here to tell y'all about this movie I just got to watching. This show, this series I got to watching. And it was good. Most people don't like it, but it had a strong spiritual. Where's Big Red? Let me reach out to him. Big Red, text me real quick. And because I want you to come out here. Has anybody seen them? Have y'all seen them? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Or either just type yeah. Have y'all seen them on Prime, Amazon Prime? Oh man. Man. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Stop. Everybody be so scared, like, "Ooh, it's spooky." Stop being. It's people got more devils in them than what's in the television. Be honest. There's more devils in people than it is in television. It is not sick in the sense of the word. Yeah, my allergies, man. I need to give me some tissue. But it isn't sick in the sense of the word like Lovecraft. I know Lovecraft, everybody was like, we're not watching it. But it had a very, very, very good back theme to it. A theme to it, a little essence to it. Green tea, a green mask listening. A green, what is a green mask? Let me I'm gonna finish saying what I gotta say. Just tell me later. But it was not like, you know how Lovecraft was too sexual. I will say that much. It had a little strong sexual content and the family was broken. This right here, the man is the head. He is the head of the house, period. And he takes on the role of taking care of his family. It gives you the essence of the spirit of racism. And it shows that racism has a spirit behind it. And you'll see the spirit in the actual show itself. Yes, what they did to the child, it brings you in the mindset of what they did with doing like alligator bait. And my daughter told me even that there is history that they would chop babies up and eat them or feed them to alligators. You know, it makes you think about that they have no regard for our lives, even our babies' lives. Oh, you want to become a Patreon? Can anybody send him my Patreon link? I'm gonna find it. I'm trying my best not to get thrown totally off track. But let me go to my page. Hold on. It delves into the spirit and the history of racism. Racism as a whole and how it works, how it was built, how it was constructed, the deals that they made with the devil. It's kind of, you see the spirit behind it. It's called Them. Let me show you and I just put my Patreon link in there, so you should be able to. There you go. Let me see. Them. Let me see. Y'all know I rarely watch TV, but I had to watch this one because I wanted to see what it was about. Let me see. It is very interesting, and the father was a good looking brother. Praise God. What I loved about this show, I will say this much, is everybody in the show was heavily melanated. It wasn't, I don't knock light skinned people. Love y'all too. But Hollywood has a point of when they cast roles and stuff, majority of the roles in the movie, when they did movies, when they're dealing with Black people, they're usually of lighter complected people, or more so biracial. They love to put biracial people in the place of Black, and not to say they're not Black, but my back y'all itch. I told y'all it's my allergies. Hope my eczema. Well, I don't have eczema. My eczema healed up. That's a good thing. I don't have it anymore. I ain't talking about light skins. Y'all know I love y'all. But Hollywood does that. You never see dark skinned people in a lot of major roles. You'll see dark skinned men. Now they'll give you a chocolate brother quick. But when they put women in roles, they have a tendency to go get your what is it? Zoe what is it? What's her last name? Zoe Saldana. I always mess her last name up. They go get her. When she played Nina Simone, I felt insulted because they could have went and found someone who was of dark skin complexion, and to play that role. And like I said, brothers, y'all can they'll go get the light of light and the dark of dark. They're flexible with men, but women, black women, they tend to go get Saldina. I think that, am I saying it right, y'all? Y'all know I'm country. They tend to go get lighter complected people. So that's what I liked about this show. Oh no, I don't think, I hope you don't hate people, but they don't go get, our color, my color. I mean, I'm not the color that they're gonna have in front of TV, unless I'm playing some role like I'm the bad guy. I'm breaking up somebody's marriage, or I'm doing something inappropriate. They go get the dark skin. But when they want to play off of a light skinned woman, when they use a light skinned woman, she's usually playing the housewife, or you rarely see it. So I saw this. Now the thing is about this is, though, the dark skinned woman it was a lot going on. So the family had a lot of little issues. So let me show y'all the trailer for it. Y'all know I'm country. I say trailer. Let me see. Here we go.
Pretty nice, huh? Bigger than I looked in the pictures. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. You couldn't imagine a nicer place to live. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there. But the things I've been doing. This home is ours. This is how it begins, with one family. They came from someplace worse. We'll have to make this place worse. What's worse than worse? Heard them folks in Compton straight up evil, man. Fuck that.
Whoa, y'all heard this cuss word.
There's something bad in this house. I don't like it.
We got our eyes on you. We'll do this till it gets there.
Now, oh, let me get my plug. My laptop about to die. Hold on. And I have as many. Hold on, family. Oh, I gotta climb under my desk. Hold on. I could plug it into the outlet I got right next to me, but I don't want too many cords in front of me. So bear with me, family. All right. Where is it? Come on. There you go. I'm gonna give Patreons the link. Hold on. Thank you, Melody, for your Cash App. Thank you so much. Let me see. All right, Patreons, go out to the Patreon page. I'm putting the link out there now. Y'all pray for me. These allergies are giving me the blues. I am going to have a day where I provide the link in my live. I'm trying to figure out when I'm gonna do that for my people that follow me where I have it in my live. I gotta be careful those things don't have no act right. So I want to say go check and get that link. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so Patreon's the link is out there if y'all want to join me tonight. Ruhama said open mic night. Come on, Ruhama, but you know you going to sleep or you gonna be up for a minute. I'm messing with you. But when you watch, yeah, them is referencing them, but you figure out who them is. Them down styles. Y'all remember that joke? That was funny. I'm being silly right now, but it's triggering. It's triggering on both sides, but you figure out as the plot thickens why both sides are doing what they're doing first. Because when I first saw it, I was like, why are they doing why? But it shows the demonic spirit behind racism because it's actually a spirit. It's a spirit. White supremacy has a spirit. It's a spirit. It's not a person, but it's driven by a spirit. And you just see it. The thing that's going to trigger you, I think, is either the second, fourth, or fifth. I can't remember which one it is, but it's between the first and the fifth episode where that one scene everybody is just having a hard time with. Hey, family.
Hey, Sista. Hey, Sister Rama. How y'all doing?
Ruhama,
Hey,
what's going on?
hi.
Hello. Y'all came in here quick. I got two things at the same time. Y'all came in at the
I hear an echo.
Huh? You hear echo?
Mm-hmm.
Now?
Because I wanted to see Melody.
Melody never comes up. And she is a wait a minute. Let me see.
Now you find me Melody. You find Melody right now.
Melody, I think, is a Patreon. Melody, are you a Patreon? I could have sworn she is. My child sends me more. Let me see. I thought Black
We don't have a Melody.
It's Melanie.
It's Melinda.
Melinda. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Ruhama. You know Ruhama has to help me. Because you remember I used to say Rahama
What?
and I couldn't get past it.
Oh, wait.
Hey, okay. I want to put the link in the chat, but y'all have.
They act right. They're just good people.
Yeah, you know us.
They're good people. There are good people on both sides. No, they're great.
Oh, not the both sides.
I'm a little scared, Saints. I'm a little scared.
Don't be scared. You watch them. You shouldn't be afraid.
I
can watch that
Melinda.
them show.
I want to give Melinda the link. I do.
Give Melinda the link just because you kept calling her Melody.
Big Red in the house. Big Red in the house.
Big Red.
Big Red. He not extra. He just lasts a long time.
Melinda, you want to come up here? Hold on, because I'm going to get his link. But I'm going to tell y'all something. If I promise y'all, if somebody cut up, you know I can block your IP address.
Up next said, don't. She said, don't trigger her with that, or him. I'm sorry. Up next is a he. I'm sorry. He said, don't trigger me with that both sides stuff.
What do you mean by both sides?
Oh, because I was teasing. Quoting Trump. At the Charlottesville, I think he said there were good people on both sides.
I'm glad glad that Black Tastic got his normal name because folks was having a hard time with
Blacktastic cashew, shoo. Cashew.
Marab.
Blacktastic cashew.
Did you say cashew? That was hilarious. But y'all, that show, because I was talking to Ruhama today, because I called her today. And I was telling her about the series, and I was like, now it's gonna piss you off first. Let me let y'all know.
Trigger you.
It's gonna do more than trigger you. It's gonna piss you off. But what I liked about it was
I'm sorry, Mr. Blacktastic right cashew sits bloom by.
But what he's so special. I just realized what you said. Y'all, this was my whole weekend. So y'all pray for me. My entire weekend with Ruhama. That was hilarious. But Passover was amazing. But let me get back on point because y'all know my ADHD is on 10 right now. So the part that I like the most, Ivan, let me see your picture before I let you up here. Your device ain't working. See, I done gave links out. This could be somebody that's standing in front of the screen. Oh,
they don't stand in front of the screen. What the heck?
What have you done?
I don't see no picture. It says it is device not connected. I'm like, back in my brain, there was a guy that we was on live with, and his camera was off, and he was just invited, and he was given the link. When he turned his camera off, he was laying in the bed with no shirt on.
Oh,
He was like,
no.
He was laying back like this.
No.
And I was like,
No, Melody. Melody, you just gotta come on, just for a hot second, Melody. Melinda, I'm calling her Melody now. Just for a hot minute, please, oh please. Just come and say hi.
Melinda's like, y'all not gonna get me up here clowning with y'all.
Come on, Melinda, just 1 minute. Just come on and say hi. Just 1 minute.
I'm sleepy, but I gotta be with family.
What you say?
So I'm sleepy, but I gotta be with my family.
Oh man! But y'all, let me tell y'all about the show.
Yeah, go.
Let me tell you.
Come on.
I forgot.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get my thoughts together because I was going to make a point. I think this was what I was going to say. It's going to piss you off this is what I was going to say. It hit. Now let me get my point out before I forget. The black people ain't playing in that movie. They smacking people back.
Okay.
One scene, she smacked that woman so hard, I was like, I felt that. Like she goes outside with a gun in her hand, like, try me if you want. I'm gonna tell you one thing. This little boy, this little special, clear, colored, complected young man decided he was gonna pee on her bed sheets because you know how you hang your sheets outside to dry. And it gets even better. She found the little boy grabbed a stick because she was finna get him, the black mother, and she looked at him like, you finna hit me with this stick? She snatched the stick out of his hand and chased him down the street.
Well,
I hit a child.
I fight kids.
Yes.
You grown enough to pee on my sheets. You grown enough to take these hits.
Man,
that was a demon. She was just trying to cast it out. That's all.
She was going to beat the devil out of him because she had
to get it. She said, "Try your white Jesus, not mine."
Jesus, but don't try me. I don't hands.
Y'all say I still need that T-shirt. I'm gonna give me a T-shirt made.
I love that song.
but the show is called Them.
So what happened when the little girl? Well, from the previews, what happened with the little girl who got snatched into the closet? I don't like seeing little girls snatched into closets.
She gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. She
gonna be all right.
Yeah. It's only gonna be one scene that I say if you.
Wow.
Oh, Father, that one scene. It's gonna be one particular scene. I had to kind of. I knew what was gonna happen, and I had to kind of hurry up and go past it real quick, and but you could still see it because I wanted to see because I didn't want to miss it, but I didn't want to kind of slowly go to it, so I just hurry up and kept hitting that button, and yeah, ooh, it's gonna make you cry.
What happened?
It's gonna make you cry. That's all I gotta say.
Just tell me. Okay, spoiler alert.
Me of my
Spoiler
mom.
alert. Everybody cover your ears. Cover your ears. Okay, tell me what happened.
Ivan, I want you to get here and be nice. Be nice.
You got clothes on, Ivan?
He got some clothes on. He got some clothes. He's sitting in a chair.
Is that a pineapple? Oh no, okay, that's a plant. Okay.
Hello, Ivan. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay, he sounds like he ain't crazy. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. We have crazy sense of humors up here. So, and I was telling about the story that I was on a live once when I was doing my Sunday seminary days. That the guy got on the live and cut his camera on, and he had on no shirt, and he was laying in bed in the middle of the live, and we was like, yeah. But hello, welcome.
Welcome. I'm so excited, man. I've been listening to you guys for a while. You, Dante, Teo. It's just a blessing to be able to become a Patreon.
Oh, welcome. Oh, you're a Patreon.
It's just a blessing, man. So I've been in the truth. Well, I've been knowing who we were since 2006. So,
oh wow.
And just to now, to be partners or hooked up or linked with other people that have the same mindset that I have is such a blessing and such a relief. Because sometimes you can seem like the oddball in your local church, and and so iron sharpen iron. You want to be hooked up with people that have the same mind frame that you have. So it's just a blessing, man. I'm just so humbled, man, to be able to learn from you guys. I've been converted ever since I was a kid. Received the baptism of the Holy Ghost when I was 13 at home. So I'm very familiar about all types of doctrine, and so I'm just a church boy, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. So
I love it. I love to hear Israel when they sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost. I love that.
Oh yes. So it's just I just can't, I just been learning from you guys for a while, man, for about a year and a half. So it's just good to be, sharpened.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I love your story. And we were joking with you. We joke like this sometimes.
Oh yeah, I know.
But I love that you said that you knew him before you knew who you were. And I love to hear that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always good.
That's the best balance. I feel that, and I'm not saying anybody else, but I noticed that people that were already filled before, and me and Black Tastic had a long talk about that. Mm-hmm. That when people were filled before they came into the truth, it's like it's a little different. It's like you have a connection. You have a connection, and you don't lose that connection.
Yep. It helps you make sense of things that you didn't understand in your unawakened state. I know I was similar like that too. I knew stuff, but after I woke up, it's like, oh man, that's what that meant.
Yep.
Yes. It's interesting. What were you getting ready to say, Ruhama?
No, I was going to say that, especially if you're filled with the Ruach, it helps you as you navigate through the, like, oh, I've been lied to. And then you get angry. You go through that anger stage. And he really helps you through that, so you don't just go and, do stuff to people. Or say things, that are harmful, or, it's just, he really helps. I mean, I don't know what I would do if he didn't dial me back and just like, bring that word back up to me, or just, say, make yourself of no reputation here. He calmed me down greatly when I was going through that phase. Like when you first find out and you're all elated, and then you're like, wait, I've been lied to. What? So, yeah, it helps. Oh, and I don't know how to say his name. Mati Yahu bin Yisrael. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I'm sorry if I butchered it.
I'm gonna start making folks come up here and pronounce their name and be like, "Come here, pronounce your name for me." And I'm just joking.
Or put it in there phonetically. I don't know how to say it.
You put it in there phonetically.
Matith Yahu bin Yisrael. He says that what they did to the baby. Is that what you were talking about? Oh man, that's horrible. Was it a little black baby?
Yes, and he was so cute. In fact, the story is centered around that.
What they did to a little baby?
It's the trauma of being black. They don't see our babies as being
human. They'll feed them to alligators or stomp their heads or not feed them in daycare.
I saw that recently. You tried to slap that in there, but I saw that recently. That
you like how I did that?
But how they left that baby and she didn't eat. Man, look.
It was all the kids. You talking about that daycare where they had all the kids, black kids with no plates of food?
Yeah,
white kids got the food. Yeah, that was. And then the local principal tried to say, "Oh, you had to see the whole picture to understand everything." I'm like, what's to understand? All the little white kids is eating, and all the black kids didn't have a plate.
Correct. Because if you had all the kids in line eating, it'd have been a mixed group. With food. Like we're stupid.
It's
like
disgusting.
Kids at the table with food and kids at the table with not food. So
how long have they been going through that? Little innocents, they can't really speak up for themselves, and they think that's normal. The little ones, the babies, they don't know any better. And all these little microaggressions and stuff that they go through now and have gone through. And it's just disheartening. Sickening.
I had a teacher in 5th grade. Sixth grade. Yeah, 6th grade. She gonna basically come and tell me like, "Oh, are you all black?" And I'm like, "Yeah, my mama black, my daddy black." "Oh, well, you're kind of light there. Got red hair. There's something else in there somewhere." Like, rich.
Bright red hair. Didn't know how to take it.
My goodness.
It made me so mad because I wasn't knowledgeable then because I was a child. But I think about it now as an adult, and I'm like, I wish I would have known then because I could have told her, "No, you need to go and look down into some of those tribes in Africa that have kids with red hair and blonde eyes and no white folks anywhere around."
Yep, and our brothers and sisters who have blonde hair. Was that Micronesia?
Yep.
Saying no Europeans in them. It's like, nope, that is their natural hair color.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah. There was a bunch of people in the Bible with red. I mean, they talked about some of them that had red hair, but let them tell it wasn't red hair like us. It was their red hair.
I mean, they showed us a whole Charles Heston talking about 10 Commandments.
He had locks, though.
He did not.
On the picture, the promo picture, they put little locks on his side. He had one, like that little Egyptian braid at the top with coming down on the sides, like.
Oh yeah,
he did. Yeah, when he was back in Egypt with all the other white people,
he was locked up. Hey, holla at it, brother.
I'm sorry, the white folks look goofy dressed up as Egyptians. That's just, you can't tell me that, bro. You can't tell me that this is your culture, but every time they dig up one of the mummies, they come out with hair with locks on it, bro. Like, how you gonna say that's you?
Right.
No, they're going to say they were feathers. That's what I on one. Those were feathers.
You showed me that. I was like, feathers?
No, they call locks feathers.
Yes.
Bro, the delusion.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Feathers.
Yeah, they anything but locks.
Oh my gosh, feathers.
Feathers. They were feathers.
That must have been a Jamaican bird.
He flew over there.
Bumba clot.
Feathers.
Man. But that's the strong that like Ruma said. After I woke up, it's like you said, it's that exactly like you said. You get real happy. You're like, dang, man, that's what's up. You be crying because you're like, man, all this time they told me I was just a slave, and man, this is crazy. Then you think about all them white folks that you sat under, and you're like, you know what?
Oh, it's on now.
Yeah, dirty.
I threw away so many books.
Okay, got rid of all my little white Jesuses.
And I inherited my mom's library, so she had all these other books. So yeah, John Hagee, yeah, you out the door.
Oh shoot, we're talking. I look up and I see TD Jakes staring at me. I got his Destiny book. I'm like, get that out of here.
Tossed.
Welcome, Rob Moses. Rob Moses said, when are we going to teach about the Melchizedek priesthood? We're going to do that very soon. And I'm going to tell you to come up here, Rob Moses. You're welcome to come up here and talk.
Rob Moses wants us to go, I remember he would be in the chat talking about, say something,
Y'all be giving Rob Moses a hard time. Rob Moses is going to get up here and he going to talk about every single person, including me.
Melinda, where you at? Melinda, where you at?
She came up here. Y'all can't see when people come up.
No.
But she was having a few device. She was having a device issue, so she said it's her mic. She think, what are my neighbors upstairs doing? Are they jumping rope? Oh my goodness! My neighbors upstairs, you can hear them like walking. I'm like, do y'all have bricks on the bottom of y'all feet?
Oh my god! Yeah, bricks.
I mean, they're walking. They doing a ring dance or something upstairs.
Oh, Tia, y'all out there? Tia, you coming up here? Tia, yeah.
What's going on, Orthodox Moore?
Orthodox Moore out there. Hey, Orthodox Moore, how are you?
I'm serious. Y'all laughing at me. My neighbors sound like they doing the jig upstairs. I'm like,
doing the running man.
Man, they sound like they rain dancing. Y'all remember river dance? That's what they
River
call it.
dance.
Oh.
Like, what y'all doing upstairs?
Oh
Hopscotching? Y'all know I'm silly.
Sister E and family.
What's going on, Ivan? What y'all want to talk about since we up here? Y'all know I was going to talk about the show Them, and I was going to ask y'all, who has seen it up here? That's the question.
I've only seen. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, go ahead, bro.
No, I've seen some of the previews. Like I said, and I saw that one part when she slapped her girl into next week. Yeah, I did see that. Made me smile. But yeah, that. Hey, I'm just telling how I'm feeling. But anyway, shows like that, I would like to watch, but it can make me feel a certain way. It's like when I saw years ago. You remember that movie Rosewood?
Oh yes,
Rosewood. Like I said, I had wild white friends then that were cool. I watched the movie. I sat there. I was shaking, and I didn't talk to them for a good couple weeks. I couldn't be around them. I was like, this mess right here, oof. Especially the part with Esther Roll, what they did. I kind of lost it. I'm like, no, this can't be happening. But it was a real story.
Yeah.
I would want to do a story talking about the black because it wasn't just Black Wall Street. There were multiple cities that had a very dominant black community that was, I mean, just heavy far as they had their own economy, and they went through a whole thing of destroying those different areas and neighborhoods.
Yes,
because that money was inside those communities. They had their own businesses. They didn't need to do anything but interact with each other.
Even if you had a farm.
Huh?
Even if you had a farm, they would come and take it.
Oh yes.
And they don't even support the black farmers. It's like horrible. It's just the systemic racism just all across the board. Like,
oh yeah, and then this also goes that show them. It goes into how bankers look at the black community when it comes to mortgages, redlining, and not even redlining, because you had the black family in the white neighborhood. It just shows that their mortgage and interest rate and all that is better than ours in it. And they kind of explain it. So it goes into. It's like it goes through every area of racism you can think of that kind of you know, it's a spirit. Put it like that.
Yes, it is. And you can't, it's like racism in America, you can't really separate them. They're like conjoined.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's just how things are set up here. It was founded on that. It wasn't founded on any godly principles as they like to declare.
Nope.
Right.
Yep.
Go back to Habakkuk. Woe to those cities founded upon bloodshed.
Yes.
And, like I said, ever since once I started seeing all the violence and everything against us over these past 5 years, that has been the scripture that has been the basis for everything I've been doing. So it's Habakkuk, like to say, yeah, you see this, and the Yah, and then him saying that the curses and the evil upon those cities built upon bloodshed. In other words, they will never last, and we're seeing that right now. It's like it's falling apart because it was based upon death, not on not on the Lord at all.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, they talk about in them. They talk about the curses as well.
They do.
Ooh,
Yes, that right there changed the game for me.
okay.
Yeah, talk about the curse of slavery. I can't tell y'all the story, but just watch it. It's it's interesting. It's
What
very.
episode is the child thrashing? I just couldn't stomach that. I would
I
just,
can't remember, but just
so I can avoid it. If I were to watch it, I mean, is it like
I
super
can't.
scary? I mean, like Amityville horror scary.
Let me let you see my facial expression. It's not Amityville, but it. Oh, when I put it like this, I cried a little bit. I was more. I'm gonna take that back. I didn't cry. I was in shock. Like,
Just in shock.
you know, you watching something, you just like, wait a minute, let me go back. Let me go back.
You watched it again?
Because I thought I went back because I said Hollywood for real. I mean, you don't see like the baby being like bashed against the wall, but you do see
it's implied. Like, oh my gosh! Of course, they couldn't do it real big. That's awful. See, when I see stuff like that, then I gotta go watch one of those nature shows where the white folks getting eaten by something. I'm sorry.
I just go watch Django and be like, "Bye, Miss Millie."
But I'm telling you,
like they'll climb into a bear cage or something at the zoo and they get mauled or something. Like,
goodness, y'all.
It's like, okay, that's a sick thing I do. Forgive me, pray for me. But I tend to watch those shows just, like so much is going on. It's like, okay.
I was gonna watch it, but Ruhama done ruined the whole show for me. My mom, Ruhama, man. I can never watch movies with my mom. It'd be 2 minutes in the movie and she's like, "What's gonna happen?"
Oh, I know somebody else who do that. She in the next room.
Don't you be talking about my sister Pam.
You probably like, okay, go ahead, keep saying that.
You're gonna let her ask questions.
I'd be like, just watch the movie. Find out.
Well, I gotta say this: grit your teeth.
Hey, family, I gotta bust up out of here. But God bless you guys, and I'll be praying for you.
It's good meeting
you. All right, you too, man.
We sorry we didn't have any meaty conversation. We're gonna have some meaty conversations. Today is just everybody just talking. But thank you so much for coming up here.
It's all good.
It was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Salama.
You also. Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you, bro.
When I said media, I meant like scripture. We ain't go scripture for scripture. I'm just not in that mood right now. I want this show was like, oh, you gotta watch it. Is that a computer fan going on?
That's probably mine.
No, I think that's mine. Hold on.
Yeah,
that's mine. I got every device in the world. The Apple MacBook got Pro has a fan. The Air doesn't.
So you said Apple. I used to like something to eat.
Yeah, I know.
Every time a client bring an Apple to me, I just want to be like, bro, no, you need to just go buy a real computer.
What?
What? Don't do my computer like that.
They have you spend double the price for half the power. It's like for the price of one MacBook, I could get you 2 solid PCs. That's a beast. I remember I took this lady to the Sony store, one of the owners of a place I was working at, and we bought 2 computers and some DVDs. And she goes, "Oh my God, I got way more with this stuff. I was gonna get just one book for all of this."
Oh, see, the only reason I gotta stick with Apple now because every single device I own now is Apple, and it's like when you have like every device, like my daughter has a MacBook. My mom gave her that for graduation gift, MacBook Pro. Mm-hmm. I have an iPad and 2 iPhones, and so I had a MacBook Air at first. In fact, I still have it. Where is it? It's
sorry to hear
that. Hold on. How you gonna just come for me like this?
Man. Yeah, I got everybody who sees my computer, they call it Cerebro because I got a big tower. I tell everybody, I said, I could build you a computer for half the price of that MacBook and it'll be better. Not now, though, unfortunately, because the chip shortage got everything expensive.
Now, this was the MacBook Air I had. I still have it. I still use it. But I ran out of space. Like, my space was like, and I got like the low end. Like, I got disk space like 256.
Oh man. And you can't expand it? Like you can't put another drive in it? See, that's why I like Apple.
Man, that's messed up.
See, I have a PC though, and I was able to change the drive on. Well, no, I changed the RAM on mine. I had pretty good SSD. I had pretty good. It was like 1 terabyte, and it was a Asus, not Tera, but Asus.
Asus, okay.
Yeah, Asus, yeah. Those, man. SSD is the only way to be.
Man, Asus is good.
Asus makes good stuff. I got a Asus motherboard, man. I love it.
Yes, and I just my hard disk. I had with a hard drive was like 1 terabyte, but I had like 8 gigs of RAM. So it was like really, 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 really.
I think Ruama fell. Hold on. We got you good. No. You good. It sounded.
Leave my sister alone.
Did she fall asleep? Did she break her neck?
I said, did she fall? Somebody go check on her.
I was adjusting myself in this chair.
What's that snoring?
Hi. T, are you out here laughing at me? I'm up here.
Everybody want to know what show Tia Y'all is called them. Let me put it up on the screen again. Cause
Tia Y'all, hop up here. Come up here. Say hi.
I thought it was going to be like a sequel to Us or something when I seen everybody on Facebook talking about it. Yeah.
That's what I thought too. I was looking, I'm like, that looks like Us. I never seen Us. It's a lot of, like, I really don't watch horror movies.
It's all right. Us is all right. From a story point, there's a lot of stuff that don't make sense, but if you just watch it just to watch it, it has some interesting stuff in it. But some of that story in Us don't make no kind of sense whatsoever. Get Out was way, way better. Get Out was
good. I like that one.
Yeah.
I saw that long after it came out. Everybody was talking about it. Like I said, I'm always, the 2000 and late with stuff. Is, with pop culture. And it's like, oh, this was a good movie. And I'm seeing it like, 9 months later.
Nah, Get Out was good. I like Get Out, but to me, one of the best movies that came out recently, like one of the best black movies, was Sorry to Bother You. I love that movie.
Sorry to Bother You.
Oh yes, I recommend everybody watch Sorry to Bother You. And then even talking about the transhuman agenda, watch Sorry to Bother You because I was shocked. Watch that movie.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, it's a good man. It's hilarious, and it's also a critique on racism. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. It's good. I'm not gonna ruin any part for it. It's just hilarious.
And have y'all noticed there's been a lot of movies dealing with white people being the monster? And it's driven, the monster is racism, and it's like a demonic spirit, and the black people are fighting just like with them. Then you have what's the other one? H.P. Lovecraft. Get Out. a lot of them now are just like the demon is white supremacy.
It's programming because it comes into what they're trying to push, even in the mainstream media. It's essentially the reversing, and they're the part of them pushing that because that whole Marxist agenda and all that kind of stuff. They need to push that out there. So it's not like they're doing it because black people, we acknowledge you. It serves their agenda.
Correct.
That's what
I
it
agree.
is. It serves their agenda because if they truly cared, then they would have been. They wouldn't be. They like to tell black stories from the point of white people. Right. They have a few blacks out there doing it, like Issa Rae and your boy from Jordan Peele and whatnot, but they still won't go and get like a black story and let a black man or a black woman tell that story. It has to have some form of the white gaze attached to it. Like when they make superhero characters and they want to flip them all to be black, I'm like, no, I don't like that because keep them white. Because there's plenty of black cat that they want to make Superman black, and I'm like, okay, there is a black Superman, make it Val Zod, don't make it Clark Kent, and that's just like the dumb things that they're doing, like they did with that Fantastic Four, where they had Michael B. Jordan be the Human Torch. I'm like, no, I'm like, that's stupid. That's dumb. Don't give us some throwaway character. There are plenty of black characters out there. Bishop is an amazing character from X-Men. Nobody wants to talk about. Doggone Blue Marvel is Superman in the Marvel universe. He's amazing. This dude is so stupidly powerful, and he's black, but they don't want to put that on TV.
Actually, there's two things that reminds me of. I never saw the show, but I remember seeing the advertisement for it. Which just to piggyback on what you just said, there was a show called it used to come on NBC. It was a black spy show, and I think it was a husband and wife team. They were black and they were like these super spies. That show lasted for a blink of an eye because again they were the focus. They had abilities and strengths, and they were obviously probably fighting European people. So that show did not last long whatsoever. So again, there was no white hero in it, as far as I understand. And the second, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
No, and the thing I was thinking about, we were talking about movies. If one of the subject to talk about it was a pattern that I had noticed. Do you remember when the Nat Turner movie came out? This was back in the end of like 2017?
Yeah, it was a few years ago. I think it was like 18, 17, somewhere around there.
Right. And as soon as that movie was coming out, what was going on? They started bringing in, like I say again, allegedly what the director or the creator of that had done. And all the time they were doing it, they were really pushing the Medea Boo movie. I mean, they were pushing it hard. And what it started doing is a lot of people were watching saying, oh, this guy, was accused of this, that, and the other. That movie started to drop off slowly, but the Medea one started going up. And how many times they were putting it out there. And I was like, oh, I see. And the thing is, if you tried to say, why are you guys promoting a movie about a guy in a dress when this is talking about your history? If you did that, unfortunately, a lot of our sisters and everything would jump on you in a heartbeat. They'd be like, so you supporting rape culture because he did this, that, and the other. Said, as far as I know, it was alleged. I don't know. I didn't see it, but you couldn't even say or try to even defend it because instantly you were saying that you were, accepting rape culture because he was accused of this.
But they didn't yank down any of Harvey Weinstein's options and what have you. It's
correct.
It's such the hypocrisy of it all.
Correct.
Woody Allen's still running around here.
Yeah,
little girl.
Correct.
Say that. Say that.
Jerry Lee Lewis ain't pulled from nobody's radio, and he married his 13-year-old cousin.
Man.
I mean, I ain't excusing R. Kelly, but they got plenty of white pedophiles too now. They just make excuses.
Plenty.
Because Priscilla Presley was like underage. If you remember, Elvis Presley's wife was underage when he married her. Priscilla Presley was like,
she was.
She was really young.
She really was, but they don't, that's okay. That's
it's
fine.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Anytime a black person, if I go and save the president's life, they'll be like, oh, but he jaywalked back when he was 15 years old.
Really? But
outside the lines in kindergarten.
That's so funny. But what I have noticed is this. If you notice that the movies now are doing this, and while we're in the middle of a trial, not to mention a young man got killed in the middle of the street by police. Then, not to mention, back in 2020, they just now all of a sudden conveniently wait to show the video of the guy that was in the service army. I think he was army active duty, and he got pepper sprayed by the white police officer. It's like a snowball, and I'm like, wait a minute, are they trying to start something?
I believe so. I said that too. I'm like, it's getting, especially the past couple of days. I'm like, it's getting. It must be getting real close to that time because they're getting out of pocket. There was even something else that came up with this dude who's currently in the army, white dude, and he was yelling at this little boy who literally lived in the neighborhood.
Yep.
And he was yelling at him and he pushed him because he, pointed at his wife. He's like, "Don't you talk about wife? You're in the wrong neighborhood, MFer." And I'm like, "Yo, what in the world? This grown man pushing on a little boy." And I'm like, "You feel like a big man? Like, seriously?"
It was disgusting. I saw that. It's like, ugh.
Did y'all see the story about the like I say again, there's a pattern here. There's a story came across my Google News that said that there was apparently a sheriff or police officer that was shot by 4 people in the car. He got shot, he survived and everything. And I'm like, and that's this one story. And there was another story about some officer being shot. And I'm like, uh-oh, I see what's about to happen. There's a lot of sympathy being garnered towards, with Dante and everything, and this, what they call anti-cop rhetoric. It's like, how do you change the narrative? Oh, let's put out a bunch of stories about cops being killed. And all of a sudden, and so that way they garner support right back for the police.
I see that happening. I saw that a couple of years back when the 2 gentlemen got killed, kind of like back to back, the one in the car. And I think the one that was selling loose cigarettes, was that in the same week? And then the next thing you know, there was a so-called black man, sniper, who killed some police officers, but you don't have any background on him. They didn't bash him like they usually do, or demonize him. He was just a person on the roof. And it just seemed so suspect to me that they needed to garner some sympathy, because everyone was looking at them like, you guys are murderers. You're doing this and that. You're just doing too much. And it's like, oh no, we got to flip the narrative, just like you said.
You know what made that situation so bad? They said they blew him up with the robot.
Yep.
I'm like, what in the world? I ain't never heard of no nonsense like that. And of course, the one picture they have of him is him in the dashiki doing the Black Panther fist. I'm like, seriously? And that's the picture y'all got? Nobody know this man. Nobody claim this man. Nobody know nothing. It's just a dude come out of nowhere, shoot a bunch of white folks, and then y'all blow him up with a robot. But what made it interesting is, I think a couple of the officers that died, people was examining them, and they had tattoos that was tied to white supremacy groups. And the FBI, I think right before Trump came into office, the FBI had released a study saying that, hey, in law enforcement and in the judges, we found white supremacists infiltrating all of these arenas. So there's judges, and then there's cops that are low-key undercover white supremacists that they don't openly acknowledge it because they know it's not, it's taboo, but they join up into those things to keep the Negroes in check.
Yep, that study was actually from 2006. They have been doing this for decades.
Yep.
I believe that. I agree with Echo Bella. They want a race war so bad, and our prayers are our weapons.
Yes,
our prayers to Yah are our weapons.
They want to have excuses. Oh, we're killing them because they're violent. Oh, we're doing this because they want to make up all these nonsense. Like that whole freaking Asian narrative was so stupid. I'm like, bro,
that was so bogus.
That's so ridiculous. And what's funny is not too long after that, and the media didn't grab this, but there was another thing that happened with an Asian dude who lied and called the police on these folks. And the police came out there and was like, bro, he has no gun. He's not. What are you talking about? Like they went off on him because they're like, why did you call us here to lie on this man?
He said, my wife, she said, my wife.
He was looking so sad They
My
call
wife.
Oh man, his wife should have slapped him and been like, "Boy, don't you blame that on me."
Wow.
He wanted to get them shot. He wanted to get those people killed. They know what they're doing.
Yes.
He knew exactly what he was doing, and then
He was being an Asian Ken.
Yep.
Okay, Asian.
Yep. That's, and you know what? Like I said, and then when I get home what day was that? Sunday. I go to bed and wake up and it was a whole riot in Minneapolis.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had they had a event where, you know, they were protesting. And I said, it shows I don't watch TV that much anymore, other than when I want to watch a particular show, because I missed all of this. I didn't find out till the next day after the fact. It was 24 hours later when I found out.
There's one going on right now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
They just declared. Yeah, I think they just declared a illegal assembly. So now they're trying to clear them all out. They're still out there wilding out, and they know because they set this trial up, and the media is gassing it up. Like, this is why I tell Hebrews all the time: stop looking at this media. I don't look at no kind of American media. I watch Russian media, I watch Indian media, and I watch Australian media. Because they be lying over here. They sit here telling these people that about this case, and they're trying to make it seem like that his defense is losing. But I'm like, bro, the prosecutors aren't making a good case. They're trying to hinge it on him using this move, and it's illegal. But the move is in their handbook. So just off of that alone, he's gonna get off, because that goes into, I forget that law where it says that if they're doing something that the government told them to do, you can't hold them liable for it. So that move is in their book.
Yep, qualified immunity. That's why like New Mexico, I think it was New Mexico, Massachusetts, and I want to say New York have just eliminated that law for them. So I say this is why if it goes nationwide, I guarantee you'll see a drop in police brutality, because they know that the family will go after that cop individually and take everything they got.
I don't think they'll ever go down on police brutality. I'm so tired of Black Tashi. Y'all pray for him.
That had me rolling, yo.
I saw that comment.
With Nate Zellweger.
Mr. Black Tashi, come on up here, man.
It's so funny.
Black Tastic, they asking you to come up. I sent you the link.
You better come up here, Mr. Black Tastic.
That's hilarious.
You better come up here. I'm gonna call you Mr. Black Tastic. Yes, you Yahoo Cashew.
Did you say Yahoo Cashew? I love it.
Yes, you Yahoo Cashew.
That's gonna be his new nickname for me. I'm gonna call him that.
Yes, you Yahoo Cashew.
Oh man.
We'd be like, what happened? That's like not there, but
Sister, you look like she ain't had some sun in a while. Like, man.
I mean, sister, you okay? You look hungry. You need a sandwich?
Oh my gosh.
So look a little different.
They gonna whitewash everybody. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be Pastor Kelly. Who gonna play Pastor Kelly now?
They whitewash everything. I'm talking about, there was a dude that in 9/11. There was in 9/11. There was some, I can't think he was in the army or something, and he went and
they
saved
would change the Israelite community to be Caucasian people.
They already did.
I'm talking about, yeah, they did. It's called the Ten Commandments.
Because they've been enslaved, you know, because they were over there enslaved and they were brought over in ships to work here. So they suffering. They
would change the whole narrative. If y'all don't come, they gonna make the slave trade all white.
They got scattered by their own 2 feet.
They got scattered.
We all over the place, but I do wonder. I'm like,
getting a t-shirt don't count.
He picked a cotton t-shirt.
I picked this fruit of the loom. What you talking about? I picked cotton. I know what it means to suffer. Well, I am Irish. They was enslaved us.
And they would make us they make us a slave owner. They'll change it, they'll flip it over. And say we oppress them, and you'll be like, what?
Y'all oppress us.
Yes, and we came over here as, you know, as immigrants looking for a new life.
Man, my daughter said she was at school that they taught in her class that they brought them over here in slavery, but they was gonna eventually let them go. My daughter said, "What?
What?
Say what? Pastor Kelly's little.
Wait. They teaching the kids that they would eventually let
She
them
went
go.
that's when she was in my dated when she was going to a white evangelical school. So pray for me.
What?
Wow.
A white evangelical? Wow.
See, that book would have been setting fire and I'll put on their desk.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
They
Private.
just gonna let them go.
That was one of my Becky days. But no, I'm just joking.
We all have Becky and
I'm a
Ken
reformed Becky. I used to be a Becky in my former life. But,
Okay, I was Carlton.
So Renee is not too far of a stretch, huh?
Man,
We gonna come on here. You tossing some blonde hair around.
man.
Renee's not looking for real.
I'm gonna let y'all see the expression of my face right now with y'all.
Hi, y'all. Hi,
You
everyone.
still
How are
fine.
you doing today? I feel great.
I feel great.
Why y'all playing? That used to be me in my former life.
We're all gonna praise Jesus and just
We're gonna
celebrate
praise
the
Jesus.
gospel.
Everyone raise their hands.
I'm a reform,
Don't
y'all.
raise them
I'm
too
a reform.
high. Let's not move too much now, okay?
Hold on, let me turn on my hill song.
Oh,
No, you didn't.
shine, Jesus, shine. Fill this land with
And you got on one
God's
end, but
glory.
the other end of the spectrum, I love them, but yeah, Rebirth. I said they got every single African drum you can find.
At the beat of the drum. Yahuwah does his work. Work. Oh, they get down. Have you tried to dance with them?
Yeah, they be sweating. They be
No, but did you
going.
dance with them?
I ain't never been.
Diane said they danced for 5 hours.
I said
They go in.
She
I
said
love
they
it.
were dancing. I haven't done the 5-hour one, but I did try to, hop around. I mean, that's good exercise too.
that is. They put in that exercise.
They worship.
I was wondering, I'm like, why do dudes got them head wraps around their head? Then I realized they do that to keep the sweat from coming down.
I'm telling you, it works. Won't he do it?
I'm telling y'all, I love it, but I just be like, man, I got to put on some comfortable clothes when I come here.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I want to go, but when I go, I'm gonna wear my running shoes.
That's it. Cause they go. I mean, they don't stop.
They don't stop. I mean, they get it in. I like that though. Woo.
I know.
Too, but
it feels pure. I love that.
Liberating. It's like they look so free to just to worship like that, and then they go through the little different sessions and they're talking honestly, and it's like, man.
I'm like, that's how it should be. That's how the assembly should be.
That level of freedom, that level of openness, and just wow.
We're not sitting here listening to a pastor in jeans tell us how to live our best life.
You're gonna live your best life now, Big Red.
Well,
live your Big Red.
God really wants you to be happy, God just wants your happiness and he wants your joy. So you can wake up and say, thank you, God. Thank you for this day. Just wake up. John 3:16 says, for God so loved the world. But when he said he loved the world, he loves for you to have money. That's what he said.
Money. Lots of green money. Lots of money. It's going to be green. It's going to be okay.
He wants your pockets to be fat.
When he said lay you down by green pastures, he meant money. That's what he was talking about.
Yes, he did. Lots of green money. Maybe some Bitcoin here and there too.
Bro, I legit heard.
I can't deal with y'all or Blacktastic right now.
I'm Skinny G.
Matt Damon. Yes.
Oh, listen, Blacktastic. You better come up here. Put your do-rag on. They've taken all our do-rags now too.
Oh, yo, Matt Damon is Dante. That's great.
Yeah, they're gonna change all our black characters to white characters.
Yes, they will.
I thought this was Dante Forte. Didn't nobody tell me this was the Born Supremacy. Hold on.
For my favorite series.
And can you imagine Matt Damon's? And with that, I'm out.
Matt Damon's like, come on, guys. I want y'all to get those likes up, and I'm gonna go in and tell y'all about these suckers over here.
Man, these
Scumbags.
Somebody's a scumbag every other day. I'll be like,
Yeah, he's coming on.
Scumbag list. I tell people, I said, and anybody can get it because he'll come after Israel just like he will you. He'll be nice with Israel, but he'll still call you a scumbag though. He is not a respected person. You don't. No, I'm just joking.
But that's what made me really like the dude because I read his books before I seen him, and when I seen him, I'm like, man, that's my type of brother right there. Because I'm like that. I'm like, look, if I'm a lie, I ain't finna lie. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I'm just gonna give it to you 100. I'm gonna be, I've learned tact over the years. In my 20s, I was terrible. But I've learned tact. But at the same time, especially if you in the church and you around here talking that nonsense, I'm gonna give it to you like you're gonna live. I'm like, nah, bro, you know better. You're not finna sit here and put me, tell these little ones all this nonsense and lead them astray. Because hey, I'm gonna tell you the truth and tell it to you raw before you get that millstone around your neck. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Man,
Cousin Jibo in the house.
We all Christian. We all believers we're Christian, not Christian. Somebody said being Christian, but not Christianity. Right. I can get that. You can be Christian, but not follow the belief system of conventional mainstream Christianity.
Eurocentric Roman. Who was that? That brother that used to always say that, Sean. Oh, I love the way he would say that. The Eurocentric.
I would consider myself to be
Christianity. I consider myself a follower of the way.
Yes,
of the Messiah.
That's it. That's exactly what I tell people. Say, so you a Christian? I say no. Say I'm a follower of Yeshua HaMashiach. That's say make it plain. Cause I talked to a friend of mine this weekend who had he's a Gentile, and I said actually, quick story. I actually in my haste and foolishness, I told a couple of people about. I told him what had been revealed to me, who we are and everything, and I gave them for the scripture I gave them Dante's video, and he didn't understand. He had a problem with it till I had to break it down to actually God gave me wisdom. It's like he's talking about nations. He ain't talking about you. He's talking about nations. But yeah, I tell people, it's like what I tell them, say, I'm not a Christian. I say, or don't even put the term evangelical up on me. I'm like, that's associated with white supremacy. That's been hijacked. It's sullied. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm a follower of the way.
Yeah, I agree. Because what was Christian? Poor fellow. It's something that they called you, that they said about you. Poor fella. That's a Christian. He's going to get eaten by lions.
Yeah.
Poor fella going to get eaten by lions. In the Colosseums. That's what they would say.
Christians. Yeah, they used to feed Christians to the lions.
Gonna get eaten by lions.
I know they did, but Ruhama just said it. I was like, what?
That's when they were first called Christians. What was it, in Antioch?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that was my weekend. Where not eaten by lions. I'm still here.
No, you are. She's partially there. No.
She got saved with the lion ate Renee Zellweger.
He's not bringing Black Tactic up here. He's talking about he coming up here in just a second. Thanks, Ruhama. He gonna come up here and cut up. But this is my whole weekend. Ruhama with them random, slapbacks. She got some good slapbacks.
Just random. I'm very random. I'm sorry.
Probably can hang out.
Because I understand you, Ruhama. When you said that, I understood that. See, that's what's funny. And I don't know what that says about me, but as soon as you said that, I got it.
It says y'all are special. You said poor fella.
That's what they would say. So when you say Christian, it's like, oh, poor fella.
Poor little ting.
It's in the Bible. Where? I don't know where, but it's in there. But it's like, it means like poor fellow. It was like a term of like, oh, I feel so sorry for them.
It was an insult. Yeah, it was an insult.
It's like, man, they're gonna get eaten by those lions because and it was like a diss. Really, it was really like some kind of diss.
Yeah, but I think they just took and say, hey, we're going to use the term Christian so we can, identify with those who have been martyred and so forth. It's like go back to the scriptures. God said he never said, okay, call yourselves Christians. You don't even see Paul writing. It's like no, they talk about those who are peculiar people, priests, royal priesthood. Like that's what we call. We were never called Christians in the scriptures. So I'm like, why you continue to use a term that's not there for that in that context?
And then after I saw all I was indifferent about the Christian moniker at first, but once I started learning more, like I watched that Binya video about Spain, what the doggone Inquisition was doing, and I'm like, nah, dog, don't call me a Christian. Like, nope. No, sir. I want nothing to do with your holy day on Sunday. I don't want nothing to do with your circle. I don't want nothing to do with
the prayer circles. The holding hands in a circle. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's pagan.
That's very pagan. Stems from Stonehenge or something, or Hedge. Is it Hedge or Hinge?
Hinge.
Hinge, okay. But what about the Hedge of Protection? Is that a circular thing, or is it just one big hedge?
Hedge of Protection? I think that's
because that said hedge, the devil can't cross. Apparently, he's afraid of hedges.
No, that can't. I thought
Something's wrong with you.
And I don't think that was in Job or something.
Yeah.
There is a hedge?
Yeah, it's Job 110. Have you not put the hedge around him and his house and all that he has on every side? That was when Satan was talking to Yahushua about Job, and he was like, "Oh, well, you only like him because you keep him safe with a hedge of protection. You keep a hedge around him." So that's where they get that from.
Oh, the hedge.
Yeah.
It's not real shrubbery, it's something different.
Yeah, it was metaphorical. Yeah.
This is those sticker bush hedges then.
Yeah, that's what we used to throw on people when we was kids, little sticker bugs. We were throwing on each other. Yeah, it's not that one.
That was an interesting childhood. I see. No, I'm just joking.
You never did that?
Poor fella.
What? Throw stuff at people outside. I throw stuff, but I don't think it was a sticker bug. It's rocks, sticks.
Dog. Y'all was violent.
You were straight wilding out. Yeah, right? We threw seeds at people. You was throwing like glass and boulders.
You gotta be from Memphis to understand what it means to throw them bowls at folk. That means you throwing hands.
Sister E, David on cats. I guess everybody a giant to her, so she right here throwing rocks.
She had to fight. She had to fight all her life.
Man, when you was as short as I was as a kid, you had to fight constantly.
Her little self. She was probably so little in kindergarten, just fighting. They tried to take her cookies, her milk. She fought.
I throw milk boxes at you.
You won't throw bread.
She threw her sippy cup.
Man.
You turn the she-ride and be throwing stuff, huh?
She was
throwing chairs, throwing whatever.
You would throw chairs.
I swung a desk across the room.
You did?
Wow.
I had a horrible temper. Like, I got into it with this girl in class, and I was quiet, but because I was quiet I ain't gonna say I was quiet, but I was one of those, I didn't mess with anybody. So I was one of those that went from 0 to 10. It wasn't slow, gradual. It was get up and I'm gonna throw this. I'm just gonna sling the desk. And I remember my friends was like, something's wrong with you. But I mean, the girl had been going all day, talking crazy all day. And I'm one of those that just like, all right.
You're not throwing desks anymore, though. Praise Yah. Hallelujah. Won't he do it, y'all?
Yeah.
Thank the Lord for that deliverance, because that video the other day would have been a whole lot different.
It would have been more than tisk. It'd be like, I need some bail money, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. We just see and tonight the woman showed up at the house of
Y'all,
we got no bail money.
After I did that video, I got so many calls. I got calls till 4:00 in the morning.
Really?
And then woke up at 8:00 with calls. I was like, I didn't even think anybody paid attention to it. I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I was just saying what I needed to say. I had totally missed the chat. And the chat was lit, I heard.
Yeah.
I got a text message from Ruhama saying, I made it home. I'm watching your video. I'm like, oh, well, brace yourself. I mean, I would get messages Blacktastic was grabbing wrong bags at the airport. He said he almost.
He was grabbing other people's bags.
He said that's what happened when I don't talk to you for a couple of days. He said because I would have talked you off the ledge. I said yeah. I don't think he would. I know he wouldn't have talked me off the ledge with that one. No, I just wouldn't have called him. I would just did it anyway after the fact. I would let me call you. I would have been like, let me call you right back, Blacktastic, and then all of a sudden you'll see a pop up on a notification from YouTube. Sister E is live.
Somebody called me Cherry in the chat. That junk was hilarious.
They called you Cherry?
Yes, because I was clowning. You know me, I'm clowning.
But they called you Cherry?
Clowning and stuff, and somebody I don't even know who it was. I had never seen that name before. I think it was probably somebody in that camp that just switched names. Someone, oh, Big Red is Cherry. And I'm like, seriously?
Oh, they thought you were trolling.
I did that.
I was like. I'd have been all up in here, had the camera on and everything. Like, who is this? I'm like, who is you?
Who you is?
Yeah, I was like, nah, don't hide behind a fake account. Come on now, don't do that. Don't do that.
Come on, have some courage. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. At me next time.
But I was told that I'm a leader. I have to be nice. I was nice though. I was nice. I had my point I needed to make. I made my point.
You said it with your chest.
Yeah.
You said it with your chest. Sister Anaya Batya said you were saying it with your chest.
I was saying it was something because I got calls after the fact. Like I got calls. My phone just stopped ringing. Like yesterday.
After your tis episode.
People's like, are you all right? Are you good? And I'm like, oh gosh. But I was
afraid.
Somebody needed to pray because I was out. I was tired. I was tired of what was going on. It wasn't like angry. It was just you hit a point. You're just like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah. It don't make sense. That's silliness, man. None of that got nothing to do with no kind of edifying. It's just like I said, you handled it much better than others would have because it was foolishness. I seen everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not. It's about Yah at the end of the day. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Like, it should
not be about us.
Yeah, exactly. When people don't want to talk about the scripture and argue the scripture with you and turn into ad hominem, that means that they don't have nothing to say. I've dealt with that so many times. There's people I used to go to church. I got called just this week. Somebody said I got a deceiving spirit because I said I don't want to go to church on Sunday, and going to church on Sunday is against Yah's word. Oh, well, don't let no man deceive you for holy day. And I'm like, bro, you can't take one scripture. Like, that's such a Christian thing to do. They take one scripture and run with it.
And that's totally out of context. Never mind.
It's way out of context. He wasn't even talking about it in that manner. He was literally telling them not to let other folks tell them about the Sabbath day.
Poor fellas.
Folks treat me out there be like, I don't want you, yo. I said, so going and I didn't feel like Saturday was a yoke. I had fun Saturday. How is that a yoke? That's a fun yoke.
I've been enjoying the Sabbath rest and stuff. I really enjoy it. It's like, man. So and I think we really need to participate in that because, man, this world, I mean, the things that are happening there are stressful. And you can take that one day and just rest.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, on Saturday, I sleep. I sleep until I make sure my alarm is cut off. I'm going to sleep.
You get that rest. Rest your body, rest your brain.
Man.
Hey, Big Red, did you get that information from Ron Moses? He posted something. I want to delete it, but you need to get it. He posted something.
Yeah, he said something about the commit stuff. And at first he had me kind of like, yeah, but then he said something else. And I'm like,
he wants you to email him. Did you get that?
No, I didn't see that.
So I can delete it because I don't.
I see that.
I don't want his information just left out like that. I don't want anybody harassing somebody.
But y'all, how do y'all feel about what's going on with this? I hope they don't shut me down for asking this question.
You got to speak in code.
Well, the trial itself.
Oh, the trial. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because they're so funny though. You don't know what they're shutting you down for now. I mean, If Pastor Kelly was just talking about resurrection, I mean, what is that?
Yeah, they'll shut you down for saying red Kool-Aid when you should say cherry Kool-Aid right now.
They just looking for any excuse, because if you're telling the truth and you're not going with the narrative, all that, black unity go out the window unless you a black person saying what they want you to say.
Right.
They shut me down on Facebook for 3 days because I called out. They were trying to get rid of the filibuster. So they say, wash away the filibuster. And they had black folks washing the feet of white people. And I'm like, what this got to do with a filibuster, bro? Like, what kind of nonsense is this? And it's the picture that they posted, in all their little articles about it. I'm like, no. I said, Facebook out here got these ignorant Negroes washing the feet of white people. And they blocked me for 3 days because I said something hate speech.
Yeah, I haven't been to Facebook jail yet, but like I said, the way I was feeling the last couple of days, I'm like, I could go there if I really wanted to. They'd be like, we need to come after this Negro.
Are we allowed to say Negro now? I mean, you just never know. Do we have to speak in code?
And that's the thing that's annoying.
Extreme melanation.
Letting these Europeans measure our words. Negro is not a bad word. The N-word is not a bad word. It's in the Bible. It was a title. It was the title of honor that they addressed Simon by. It was Simon the Niger. When you break it down in the Strongs, it's Negar. They called him Simon the Nigger. And it wasn't a bad word. It wasn't a disrespect because he was being introduced in the church. Why would they introduce him negatively? They've taken the words that we had for our positive for ourselves and tried to turn them around to be negative. It wasn't negative to be called Negro. That's who we are.
So you would be big red Negro.
That's right.
His office hours are from 9 to 5.
I called my brother and I said, man, you know the word? He said, you know the N-word in the Bible? I said, man, I've been around here calling myself a real nigga and not even know what I was saying.
All right, let's not get her shut down.
Y'all could give me smooth shut down, and then folks gonna be mad at me because the Benaj show ain't gonna be. They gonna be mad at you. Big around just joking.
It's in the Bible, man. You can break it down in the Bible. It's there in the Strongs. I was blown. I literally read that scripture so many times, and I'm like, what in the world? Like, what? This is right here. And you go Webster's, and it's like, oh, an ignorant person. No, bro, you don't get to decide what that is. Like, no, that word existed before your little stupid book.
You told him.
They always trying to change our stuff to be negative, man.
Change the narrative and control the narrative, and
right. Well, that's what this trial is. Like I said, at first how they were promoting it, they were saying, the George Floyd trial, and they had to get checked by black social media saying, no, George Floyd is not on trial here.
He sure isn't. He's a victim. Oh, they're so disgusting.
They always do that, man. Remember that dude that found the it was a bunch of white girls that was in the basement, and it was a black dude. He was like a homeless dude. Yeah. And he found them and set them free. And he was like a hero because them girls were missing for a long time. And he saved them. And the media went digging down in his history, talking about, oh, well, he had an old domestic violence charge all these many years ago. I'm like, why would you even bring that up? That man rescued them little girls. Like, seriously?
They have to keep a certain narrative going in order to keep, the public opinion in one particular way. Like I say again, we talked about it before. Whenever there is sympathy growing for what we go through, they will always find something to counter it because they cannot have the majority public opinion going against the status quo. That is dangerous to them. They have to make sure that white people see us as animals. Because to see us as human is to go against what they've been lying for how many centuries?
Well, it's crazy because like it's what you said is so true, Aerospike. It's in everything. It used to tick me off when there was a game out years ago called True Crime. And there were no black lead characters in video games, hardly. And if they were black characters, they were always caricatures. And here it is, a game called True Crime. And who do they got on the front of the doggone game? A black man. Yep. Now, he was a cop. That's the twisted part. He was a cop, and he was an undercover cop going undercover doing some gang stuff in the game, but you don't know that. All you see on the cover is true crime and a black man's
Black man association.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do even non-human caricatures. Like I said, I didn't even realize it, but I don't know if you've ever seen the Transformer movie series. If any of you've ever seen any of them, but there's two characters in there. I mean, these are supposed to be robots from a completely different planet, completely different culture, but they are ignorant. They are, bug-eyed, bug-toothed, and talk slang. And basically, they're black. And they're the most ridiculous characters in the Transformers. They're supposed to be like a drama sci-fi, they're supposed to be advanced robots, but they got them acting like COONS.
Yes, that jump made me so mad. But Arrow, I was in the theater, bro. I almost walked out. That jump made me so mad. And then it was like, what was it? Transformer. It was Jazz. Literally, no Transformer. They were all cordial and all proper and stuff. Here comes Jazz. He did one Transformer. They got to talk all in slang and cuss.
Right.
Seriously.
Same old.
Yeah, and these are robots.
Robots.
And they're still making them look like and say
complete fools. That's what they think of us.
Right, and the ignorant, dumb ones on there, they all basically talk slang.
Yep.
Like quote unquote black slang. They all do, and it's like, wow. So y'all even gonna change my childhood, stuff I loved as a kid into let's make sure black people, look like. A bunch of what the stereotype is. That's what they do.
And that's how they are. Because I can't tell you how many times I've walked into place as a, senior technician on site. And I'll see the, person, my contact, talking to somebody else. This is somebody that work in the building, a C-level, some CEO, CFO or whatever. And they'll talk to everybody else. Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, how you doing? Then they cut to me. Hey, brother, what's going on? How you doing, brother? Yeah, they want to like dap up and I'm like, bro, seriously?
Right on, brother Red.
Need all that. Like, good and well, you don't even talk like that. Like, just chill. Just chill out. We can talk regular.
Exactly. I'm like, if I was in a different mindset, I turn to Jeff Spicoli. If you've ever seen that movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I'm like, dude, what's up, man? Yeah.
Totally.
Dude, that is a sweet system, man. How'd you get that?
Go Bill and Ted on them. Excellent.
Dude, that's totally excellent, man. Totally. I go that way, but it's like, do you know how stupid that sounds? So
right.
They don't do that with me.
Right. That's so
Oh, someone pointed out like the Princess and the Frog. Of course, it was Disney. But why all these years? I'm telling you, I've been watching Disney for a while, or had been. All these years, the princess always got her prince. I mean, it was corny, but it was how things were. But when they came to a black princess, she had to work. Like, you never saw a Disney princess have to work like that.
Right.
And then they set her in Louisiana, and then she was a frog.
Yeah, my daughter made that there. Here she was like, we finally get a black Disney princess, and she's a frog the majority of it.
That's how they do a lot of black folks in the movie.
And she had to work.
They did that to that Will Smith movie when he was that spy. He was a bird through the whole movie.
What's going on, Mr. Black Tastic?
Mr. Black Tastic! Yes, you Yahoo
I had to go back to the old Avatar.
That's my favorite Avatar.
We talking about Willis. How you doing, Mr. Black Tastic?
Hey, shalom, family. Y'all all gonna be replaced tomorrow.
I know, right?
After Rita Jones gonna be Ruama. Getting rid of everybody.
Everybody must go. Everybody.
Everybody, boy. They're gonna have the boy that plays Spider-Man is Arrow Spike. They're gonna replace Big Red with what's his name to play Tony Stark with
Oh,
y'all. Y'all go.
Hey, you know, he was a movie called Tropic Thunder where he actually did blackface.
Yeah,
That movie was
Yes.
hilarious.
I didn't see it, but I heard
that
about
was
it.
hilarious.
I'm the dude that's playing the dude that's playing another dude.
Yes, that was Robert
They
Downey.
gonna get us, man. I'm telling you, Pastor Kelly gonna be shocked when he wake up and find Justin Timberlake is rewoke now. They'll be like, what?
Yeah, it's gonna be like a reverse watermelon man.
Oh,
Wow, you went back. Yeah,
They gonna get us, man.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm trying to keep my platform. I've been in trouble so much with Facebook. They said the next time is over for me. So
For real?
that's why I had to get another profile.
Man.
Man, I've been in jail, Facebook jail so much. I'm like, man, I think I'm institutionalized.
get some of your books.
I'm like, man.
Yeah. What did you say? Do you know what you said, or can you?
Well, I've said a lot of things, bro.
Jesus wasn't black, man.
It's like a history of it now.
Talking while black.
Exactly.
Yeah, anything I say, they be on me. So I try to be careful now, because I be like, man, but I slide it in there every now and then, but they be monitoring me. I get these little messages. I be like, man, they watching.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I know they watch people in the chat too. And I remember at one point they were just deleting, like last month, they kept deleting comments and stuff.
Yep.
And they were saying, why'd you delete my comment? I'm like, I didn't touch it.
Yeah, I was like, what I do?
I need to make sure some old mods that I used to have, they ain't mad no more and they ain't rogue and they ain't out here deleting comments. Like, I got you there. What's funny is Mr. B, I was still one of his mods. I said, please let me stop being a mod because I don't want nobody to say and I think I'm not a mod anymore. But yeah, I got to check my mods. It was so often to make sure I ain't got no rogues sitting out there. So, make sure and clean house. They start Ruha might get out here. She started deleting. I was like, wait a minute, you gonna block me?
She's so funny.
Ruha be like, block, delete, block. And I'm like, let me watch.
Only if someone's acting up. And I try to,
See, y'all good. Like I said, I'm not a mod on anybody's platform. I'm like,
don't speak too soon. Don't speak too soon. You should have told us that.
No. Stop about people like Darth Vader. That's how I am. Like, oh, you don't get stupid. Bye, time out.
You don't tell us you ain't no mod. We'll be like, oh, okay.
That's not true because you an admin.
Just recently, they gonna have Justin Timberlake on there telling us, I'm bringing wokeness back.
I ain't bringing wokeness
back. Maybe have Robin Thicke play that part.
I'm bringing woke back.
No, can't bring Robin Thicke back. I think his hood card got revoked already.
Oh man,
who will be majors?
Majors, they gonna probably do. I don't know. They probably put Anthony Hopkins or somebody up there.
Oh my goodness, Anthony Hopkins.
They gonna replace all of us, man.
Want to get them fava beans?
I gotta think of a good character for you. I got to make sure it's a good one too. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna give myself time before I do that. Because Black Tyson, no, I'm coming hard. I'm coming for him.
It's true, man. It was that 9/11 movie that's supposed to be based on a true story. It was a black army dude that was saving people, and they replaced him with a white dude. And the dude is still alive, and he got to go around. He literally came forward. He's like, I didn't want to come forward. I ain't want it, but they had a white guy playing me, so I had to come forward.
I don't blame him though. I mean, it's like he wasn't trying to get any glory, but hey, give him his props at least. Yeah, that's messed up.
Hollywood was like, oh, it was an accidental miscasting.
That's how they do. They pull a Steve Harvey on you. Say the wrong contestant name.
There's been a mistake.
Oh no, somebody got me as Glenn Close.
I guess maybe I'll be Ryan Seacrest. I don't know.
I'm finna say something. I'm finna be real funny, and they gonna make Dana Stevens Denzel Washington.
No.
And Dana be like, well, he'll play it to the heart though, because he know who we are.
They gonna get all of us, man. All of us gonna wake up
evangelical. I just love the way he talks. My evangelical brothers and sisters.
And Robert Calhoun gonna be replaced with Wesley Snipes.
Oh, Blade.
I'm telling you, man. It sounded, that's what Paul Mooney said. He said, "Y'all be careful. They're gonna come get you too."
Wait a minute. And Tayu gonna be replaced by the twins from the Matrix. Y'all remember them? Like,
We're getting quite irritated. Yeah.
Who's that brother? Who's the young Chimney?
Young
Chimney. They're gonna replace me with Ben Stiller.
Zadok.
Or Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. Yep.
They not gonna be replaced by Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, that's big. Who was that? That was Big Red, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was me.
Big Red. We gotta find another for Zadok. Who would Zadok be replaced?
Who said Vanilla Ice? Would that be Zadok?
Me.
They're gonna replace Zadok with Eminem.
Yeah.
Gospel rapper ever.
No, that's Eshawn Burgundy.
Eshawn
Oh man.
They're gonna get all of us.
Meanwhile, in another universe.
I know, right?
Alter egos.
Just to be spiteful, they might replace Zadok with vocab.
Oh, that's bad.
No.
Oh no.
Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo. Make sure you take your shoes off, that your socks are on point.
Make sure your
feet on point.
Oh my goodness.
Take all of Zadok's good lyricism and turn it over to him. What?
Oh my goodness.
When you say that, I just think, wow, you coming through his house, your socks got a hole in it or something. I mean, he's gonna turn you away or what?
Did you say vocab? Zadok is gonna make. We gonna do our Friday thing, y'all. Make sure everybody's available. I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna say, Zadok, guess what they said about you?
Oh, you gonna say they said it?
They said it. I didn't laugh. I was just shocked.
What they said? What they said?
Yeah, man. Stephen Govan said, what did you put in our Kool-Aid tonight?" I'm like, I'm just sleepy. I get punchy when I get sleepy.
Oh my goodness.
Rob Moses, you better be careful. They're gonna replace you with Joe Biden.
All right.
Straight from Kemet.
Let me on that live, or you ain't black.
Rob Moses, here's a for you.
Wait a minute, who would have shown it live to be? Uma Thurman.
Oh, they're gonna get a shot
from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh no.
They gonna get you.
Oh, they said who's gonna be Cherry.
Cherry.
Oh, for Cherry, that should be old girl from Mike and Molly.
Oh. Ain't nobody gonna want to take that part. So
they're gonna be like Cherry Love playing herself. Leave that alone.
Roseanne Barr, that's perfect.
Oh, she said Roseanne Barr.
Oh, Roseanne.
Oh, yeah.
There you go, Terrence. There you go.
Amy Schumer, yo, that is good. JLK,
Somebody said
Amy
Kathy
Schumer.
Bates. Somebody said Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates.
They gonna get all of us.
They're gonna replace everybody, man.
Like, we don't care which side of the agreement you on. This is who you are now.
Then they're gonna get Tyler Perry to play vocab.
Okay, now y'all making my head hurt. I cannot.
They be dressed like Medea.
Oh my God.
I was just gonna say that. Hello. Mr. Rice getting on your nerves? Oh, okay. Let me get my face.
Everybody avatar gonna be different in the morning. We gonna wake up on MySpace. We'll be like, what? How we end up back on here?
Look, time for you to jump in my TARDIS. I guess I'm about to be out then.
Got to be about it.
Who's gonna replace Faithful to God?
Oh my Lord.
Oh, Seinfeld, because he's a super Jew. No, is that the one, or is that G-Man?
I ain't gonna even give. I am not gonna even insult Seinfeld like this.
Seinfeld.
Okay, Pastor Mike.
What did you say, Black Tastic?
I said they go have Danny DeVito play him. Play Faithful.
That's crazy.
They gonna get all of us.
That's too funny. That's too funny.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh boy.
Oh, you see, Stephen asked who gonna play Maria.
Oh, dang. What's your boy from Talladega Nights? What's his name?
We heard it.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, yes. That's Korean.
Negro left behind.
Who Pastor Mike be?
Oh man.
They go. I don't know who they. You know what? That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a good one. We'll come up with some.
I gotta pray about that. That's the last time you go my live and end it with. I see you coming back, Pastor Mike.
Yeah, Borat.
Sasha Cohen.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, your boy John Heater from what's that movie? What's that show?
Somebody said Ron Parsley. I can't.
Look, when they start replacing us, that's gonna be what bring us all together.
Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon Dynamite. That's him.
Gosh.
That's Marin.
Thank you to everybody.
What are you talking about tonight, Marin? Anything I feel like. Gosh.
We get snatched up by the ball. We're like, what happened? Where my friends go? Why my Facebook shut down? Why did I get fired? What happened?
Credit cards got canceled.
What are they gonna do like Dave Chappelle? They have a racial draft. All of us gonna wake up on the wrong.
Oh my goodness.
We all traded.
Oh no.
Why they say here I'm European? They say I'm Robert Downey. Why I got traded?
But dude, I got traded.
Wait a minute, who played Ruhamar? When he said Ruhamar,
he said Glenn Close.
Glenn Close.
What's that Aerospace? We just calling out everybody out. We just want them.
They did everybody.
Who they gonna replace Benya with though? Benya Israel. Who they gonna replace?
They gotta find somebody tall with a deep voice. I don't know too many of
that guy from Raymond. What was it? Everybody loves Raymond, the brother.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I know you.
That would be him.
I would think being still.
So there was this guy in Spain called Yaya, right?
He was a Negro.
He was king of the Negroes, I tell you. There was a whole town of them.
You gonna look up the word Negro in the dictionary. It's gonna say righteous white people.
No, anybody trust me in the chat? No, we have not been drinking. Trust me.
Oh my God.
We are not drunk with wine as you suppose.
We're merely laughing, and Maccabees, when they were sad, we just laughing.
Exactly.
Look, all the Negroes that's been holding out gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, "Well, we woke now."
We woke now. Now what y'all laughing on the chat for? Y'all got replacements too. Who is Melinda? Let's see who's gonna be Melinda.
They gonna get everybody. They gonna get
man.
Melinda with Julia Louise Dreyfus. They gonna get her. They gonna replace everybody.
Oh man.
Just enjoy your last night on Blackness. It's over.
They replaced me with George Costanza.
I'm gonna wake up and my credit score gonna go up by 200 points.
You get that loan. We'll get grants.
I just got approved for 3 credit cards.
You drive down the street in any neighborhood.
And you got a 1% interest rate on your car loan.
Like, I got a free delivery of mayonnaise.
I am not going to have this.
All the hot sauce is gone, but there's pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin tea.
Also,
Who's carrots, y'all? You got to get carrots.
Also, I have a taste for potato salad with raisins in it.
You gonna go to your cabinet, all your grits gonna be replaced with couscous. It's over.
Oh, not my grits.
Cream of wheat.
And rice and
Did you see that? They said Eric Mason gonna be John Hagee.
They gonna do it, man. They gonna do it.
Y'all making me weak.
Oh my God. That's good.
Oh my goodness.
That's when everybody gonna realize we is them people.
Y'all better shut your own white mouth.
Go see Sister E.
Okay,
I woke up and
Black
there's a box of wine in my refrigerator.
I didn't figure out who Black Tastic gonna be Ben Affleck.
You gonna wake up in a Batmobile parked outside.
Oh my gosh.
Big rims on it.
Y'all really cutting up right now.
We never found out who Karis would be.
Oh, we gotta think hard on Karis.
Or your cola.
I said the twins gonna be the twins from the Matrix.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Cares. That's a hard one.
You have to drink tea, whoever it is.
I'm telling you, man. They gonna get everybody.
Jeremy Irons.
All y'all profile pictures are gonna be changed in the morning.
Oh man.
G-Bo gonna wake up and be like, who is that white dude? Who
is you?
The sad thing is we joking, but this crap really done happened before.
Yeah, that's scary.
I'm telling you.
But that's a nightmare. Now that is
realize,
like a horror movie.
They'll make everybody realize, hey, maybe
hey.
We need to, you know.
JL King says Karis is Michael Rappaport.
They gonna get everybody.
You win the internet today. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
That's so funny. That's how it is.
Oh
man.
my goodness. I just realized who Michael Rappaport is.
Oh man. I got one for Pastor Mike. Rick Moranis.
Hey, I'm changing.
I shrunk the Bible.
I'm the keymaster.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I'm still mad at y'all how y'all just did Kiri. I just had to find his picture.
I'm telling you, the Orthodox more gonna wake up and be like, "Who is this?"
Oh my God! Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Everybody gonna
Y'all not gonna do Kiri.
Karis gonna get us in the morning.
Everybody gonna be changed.
Everybody replaced.
Everybody.
The only person playing himself is Cherry Love.
Orthodox more gonna wake up and be Tom Hanks. He'll be like, "How did this happen?"
Wait a minute. What you mean my credit score is 800?
I feel like running.
They gonna get all of it, man.
We can travel anywhere in the world. We can colonize stuff.
I'm still laughing over this Michael Rappaport for Kiri.
Oh man.
I felt like running.
Oh man.
Does. That's what my mom always say.
What Steven said, Karen's gonna do a whole live on us. He's gonna do a whole live on us tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
But we love Karen. See our brother. Right, Karen?
We love you, Karen.
They give you
Right
everybody.
there
We're just poor Christians.
Morning with Kiris. That would be the name of the show.
Oh man.
Oh,
Dante gonna be like, them scumbags replace me with a white guy.
Scumbags. Well, he's gonna say it proper. Those scumbags.
oh man.
Y'all are really clowning the people. Y'all really clowning the people.
Those scumbags, the nerve of them.
Enjoy your melanin for one more night.
I know, right? We go savor the taste of chicken one last time.
Tomorrow you waking up with liver spots and a sensitivity to sun.
Oh no.
All the cocoa butter get replaced with SPF 40.
Oh no. Lotion.
Oh, somebody said who is gonna replace Abu?
Oh, man.
We got to think hard on that one. We got to remember.
I don't know, so I can't say.
Timothy McVeigh.
Oh, he gotta be blood. No, is he? Who is?
Not Timothy McVeigh.
Everybody.
No.
They getting. I'm practicing now. Yes, boss. No, sir.
I'll be good for now, Mr. Gates.
You need me to set the table, sir? All right, I get it.
Yowza. Oh yeah. You need some lemonade?
Y'all gals in the kitchen better not burn them biscuits.
Burn them biscuits. Morgan Freeman?
Not me, no sir.
Driving Miss Daisy?
I was down around yonder. I wasn't nowhere near.
He gonna drive right down to the pews.
Hebrew? What you mean, sir? I don't know nothing about no coffee.
Y'all are hilarious tonight. I'm looking at this chat. This chat is livid. The Q&A community gonna do a 5-hour live on us.
No, Steven, not pumpkin pie.
Hey, we ain't saying nothing. We ain't trying to be mean. We just having fun. We cracking jokes even on ourselves.
You know, they don't like us to be happy though. They don't like us to smile. They want us to be angry.
I know, right?
We're supposed to smile and bump our knees anyway.
Let me go put a Power Ranger costume on and cuss at a few folks. Feel better.
What is it? Why do they wear those Power Ranger costumes though?
I have no idea. It's Hebrew time. Abraham, Yazak.
Captain Tazaria gonna be Mitch McConnell in the morning. They gonna
Go Negro Rangers.
Everybody.
No man, what's a Shonda? We didn't get a Shonda.
He said Uma Thurman.
Oh, Shonda at large. Yeah, Sandra Bullock.
They getting everybody.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, Stephen. So y'all being racist, it's like, no, we're being humorous.
Exactly.
You gotta laugh about it or you cry about it. Like they legit take real people and like it's just retarded how they do stuff. It don't make no sense.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they mad, look, we cracking jokes even on ourselves. We thinking, you know, we love the whole community, even those that don't agree with us. We love them still, even though we may not rock with them or agree with them, because you know, at the end of the day, the same hand of oppression is oppressing us all. Even the coons who buck dancing for butter biscuits.
That is true, though.
Man,
that is true. Everybody goes press.
Have y'all seen Orthodox Moore's video here recently? I got a post.
I saw it.
I laughed. He said plantation apologist.
Wow.
He went there.
Hey, man, that was a sober and sound response that brother put up. Very well thought out and articulated and very intelligent, you know. One thing they can never accuse us of is being stupid people.
That's true.
You know, that's the one thing they can never accuse us of. We are the children of wisdom, as the scriptures say, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, and this is the humor is one of the ways that we've dealt with the pain of our oppression and the different things that have happened to us, we've always found a way to laugh, even in the midst of crying.
Yes.
You know, and it's a strength that I believe the Most High has given us because, you know, when this is all said and done, as the scripture says in Psalm, you know, that, you know, he's going to turn our sorrow into laughter. You know, we're going to be as those that dream and we're going to wake up in joy. So I'm waiting for that day. You know, while I'm here, I'm going to have some fun with my brothers and sisters as much as I possibly can.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
Facts.
I was thinking today, I was like, man, it's going to be so crazy to be in the land and be like, man, you remember what it was like back then and just start telling all kinds of crazy jokes of the stuff that we used to deal with over here, boy.
Our war wounds.
Yes.
Man. Woo, I can't wait. I
can't wait to that time. Whoa, that'd be good.
It's coming sooner than later, man. I've been keeping my eyes on this war, and this jump look like it's about to jump pop off.
No,
man, because they do stuff to make us. They want us to riot. They want us to do something crazy. It's like I know it's the enemy behind all of that. It's just so unnerving sometimes. It's like when you see the faces of those who are being victimized, you see your family members, your children or nieces, or you know, it's like they just do stuff. They just do too much.
Yeah, they do. Lately I've been watching and I just now started back watching the news. And it's just I'm like bracing myself to think of it takes one time for the protesters to fight against the police officers hard.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling it's coming soon.
Yeah.
They pushing. I see them trying to push people to that point. I mean, the violence, I mean, the utter gall of it. And then I didn't do anything. I can get away with this because I'm this complexion. And it's like, no, that's not justice. That's not right. It's such an unjust balance here and in the world. It's not just here, but I speak of here because I've seen it here.
Yeah. And, you know, one thing I know that, you know, that Yah is just, Most High is just. And you know, one thing I've seen repeatedly and consistently is that the ones who push for the conflict usually end up on the wrong side of it.
Yeah.
And that's because they trust so much in themselves. They think that they got the numbers, they got the, you know, everything is in their favor. But see, when people finally rise up and true revolution comes and people decide that they're tired, that they're sick and tired, you know, you can't just be sick and not tired or be tired and not sick. You have to be both of them. Because when you think of something, when you recover, you'll end up going back to the same pattern. If you're just tired, when you rest, you'll go back to the same pattern. But when you get sick and tired, that means that's it. That's no more. I'm not taking it. I would rather die than continue to exist this way.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's the point that they're pushing us to. And the thing about it is they're so secure, you know, in themselves that they don't realize that the seeds of their own destruction have been sown by their own hand.
Yes.
So, you know, the more they push things that way, they don't realize they're causing prophecy to happen in our favor, not in theirs. You know, and so it just, you know, everything is working for our good. And we have to continue to believe that. We got to walk this faith walk, you know, and we got to walk by faith and not by sight. So as bad as it may look, you know, on the outside, we have to remember that, you know, our redemption is drawing nigh. Every redemption, you know, and the thing about it is, if you want to really destroy Israel, just leave us alone. Because if you read the Bible, you know, persecution is the fertilizer that makes us grow. So if you want us to really stop, then stop messing with us. Because the more you mess with us, the more he blesses us.
We're gonna start calling on him because that's what it is.
That's
right. You know, because we see, you know, we're being backed into a corner, and it's like the only way out is looking up to him and calling out for help from our Father. It's like, hey, help.
You know, that's the thing. You know, I wanted to make a comment because I heard you all talking earlier about the term, you know, Christian. Now, me, I'm not opposed to the term because I studied the history behind it, and I'll just throw this out here. The term, the city of Antioch, when you study the history of the city of Antioch as to why the believers were first called Christians in Antioch, because Antioch was also known as the city of labels. So whenever a movement or something started, it oftentimes got labeled or named in Antioch. And it wasn't, for the most part, it was not a derogatory thing or whatnot. It was just like, oh, they're the this and that, or you're the so-and-so. And so that's why in Antioch, they were first called Christians, because there was also a controversy during the first century between the followers of Christos versus the followers of Christos. And so the terms are very close together, but they're actually different. One was the righteous one, which was Christos, which was those who worship, Serapis and things of this sort. And the other one was actually a term rooted in the Chaldean language family, and also in the Amharic family, which comes from East Africa, Ethiopia, for cursed, which means anointed, and it was the Christians or the Christos. Now, the term didn't become popular really until after most of the apostles had died, because it was a term that was more or less accepted by most of the Gentile believers, whereas most of the Nazarenes or Israelites, we continue to be call ourselves Nazarenes or followers of the way. But as the apostle Peter has said, if you suffer as a Christian, it's not a dishonorable thing. But the way Christianity now has done things, I do believe you can be a Christian or a follower of Christ without being a follower of Christianity. Christianity is a system, didn't even receive its term or label until almost some 14 or 1300 years afterwards. And that's because now they had co-opted our faith and even co-opted our culture. And now they turned it into this system that they created out of a Eurocentric perspective or viewpoint. Now, oftentimes here, a lot of the UA or urban apologists make a lot of the arguments about certain so-called anti-Nicene or Nicene, what they call church fathers, like Athanasius having been called the Black Dwarf. But as I was sharing with Sister E in a conversation we had, I said, he may have been from Northern Africa, but let's go back and look at the history of what was going on at that time. Athanasius may have been Black, but he was a Eurocentric theologian. He didn't have Hebraic or even African theology, because that area that he came from was dominated by Rome. That whole Mediterranean area was now dominated by them. So his theology was in line with a Eurocentric perspective. If he was living today, be honest with you, he would be what would be considered a coon, because he more or less sold out, the culture, because he wasn't really looking at it as a color thing, but he was not as culturally adept as a lot of times they try to make him out to be in order to try to make that argument that a Black man started this, that, or the other. He was European in the mind. I don't care how black his skin was. And that's the thing. Those who were actually Black of skin and still had a Hebrew mentality or theology were not allowed to come to any of the ecumenical councils that were declared. In fact, at 325 AD, at the Nicaea Council, Constantine had made it known that no Israelite, no Hebrew believer could come to the council on threat of death. And then by the fourth ecumenical council of Nicaea, which happened I think in about the 7th or 8th century, they made a decision to ban all Israelite believers who didn't forsake their culture from what they called the church at this particular point. So the Nazarenes, or our people, had to almost go underground, and a lot of us faced persecution. When Martin Luther, who they called the father of the Reformation, encountered Hebraic Israelite believers who still, practiced Pentecost and spoke in tongues and believed in the scriptures and baptized in the name of Yeshua, he called them heretics. And so this is a lot of the history. And I got a series that I'm prepared to come up. I'm going to bring a lot of the history out, because, see, when history lines up with scripture, it can't be denied. And those who would deny it just choose to be blind by choice, because they don't want to accept it, because it iconoclasts or destroys the paradigm or the tradition and the culture that they've accepted. We're trying to get back to the truth. That means you got to go back past the Council of Nicaea and back to the first century believers and find out, what did they teach? What did they believe? Because those are the true fathers of the faith. I don't know how in the world they came up with calling these other guys. Notice this. A lot of these so-called apologists and theologians, they seem to take almost an arrogant There's an arrogance that comes out in many of their voices when they can quote the so-called church fathers more so than they quote the scriptures.
Yes, sir.
And so they would rather quote these church fathers who didn't father anything but error more so than quote the actual fathers of the faith who established the faith in scripture.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so that's why I stopped calling them the orthodoxy. If orthodoxy is supposed to mean what's right and exact, then they're not the orthodoxy. They're the pseudo-orthodoxy. We are the orthodoxy. We are the ones returning back to the original blueprint, to the original plan. We are the ones that are now doing the research and bringing up what the scriptures actually say. And it's a problem for them because a system has been put in place that keeps them in position to lord over other people for their masters who have been conducting all of this behind the scenes. You know, and so I say to Israel, stand firm on what you believe. We're the only people on earth whose culture came out of our faith. Every other people that's ever existed had culture first and then their faith. They created their gods. Our God created us. He gave us the culture. We're the only ones who have that. Nobody else can make that claim.
You on point.
That's
right. Finish your point. Finish. I'm listening. I'm taking it in.
I mean, you think about it. Every nation that has become a nation has to have a charter. In other words, a set of laws that govern that nation. Our laws were given by the Most High, written by his finger, given to Moses on tablets of stone. No other culture or people on earth can claim that.
Facts.
Only Israel.
That's facts.
Yeah.
And it's true what you said about the fathers. I had a book that I bought many moons ago from Martin Luther called On the Jews and Their Lies. And it hit different now, you know, knowing who the people are and reading this book and reading what he was saying. He was just angry and just bitter and it's just nothing but vitriol. And I'm like, this is the dude they following? You know, Martin Luther, one of their big boys. You know, Martin Luther and Calvin is like they guys. And Martin Luther spaced some nasty stuff in this book, man. Nasty stuff. He seems bitter about, you know, the fact that we can trace that, you know, Yahushua came through us, through our people. And he's like, so what? You know, that doesn't matter. And you're not special. Like, that's essentially the crux of all his arguments. And he's just like going off. And I'm like,
and what's the book called?
It's called On the Jews and Their Lies. It's a book by Martin Luther. I mean, he goes in, he got one part. Oh, here we go. Even a child can comprehend this. For one dare not regard God as so cruel that he would punish his own people so long, so terribly, so unmercifully, and in addition to keeping silent, comforting them neither with words nor with deeds, and fixing no time limit and no end to it. Who would have faith, hope, or love towards such a God? Basically, he's trying to say that because our suffering was going on and God wasn't hearing us, that if we say we following God, we're liars. Because if we were following God, we wouldn't suffer.
See, that's the same way the word of faith teaches that if you poor, you're not blessed, or if you don't have this amount of money and things of this sort. That's that same word of faith and picked up that same racist doctrine that they teach in their congregations. You know, and you see how they treat the black preachers over there and black people that are members of those congregations, you know, because they basing everything on their own ability to get wealth, which the way they got wealth was that the Most High didn't empower them to do that. They did that by skullduggery and by viciousness, which they perpetuated over the entire earth.
Right.
So they can't say that they truly blessed people. No, they're thieves. That's
the irony of it.
Robbed the whole world. Between Great Britain, I remember the statistic, between Great Britain and the United States, they have either colonized or invaded 95% of the world.
Yeah. It's true.
Like a locust plague of some sort.
No, it's true. All the wealth comes, I think, was it France? I think it was France. They said France had like so much amount of gold, but France don't got one gold mine in this country. Where'd all that gold come from?
And just like chocolate.
Yeah, think about it. Where does coffee come from?
Yeah,
the biggest coffee producers aren't in South America with Juan Valdez down in Colombia. They're in Africa.
Africa. And the chocolate.
Coast and Ethiopia.
Yep. Yep, and chocolate. Yep.
Yep, and the chocolate, and they're using it. They're enslaving the children, the little African children and people to harvest the chocolate.
Yep. If you go to South Africa, it's one of the greatest examples of what it means of white supremacy, because with South Africa being predominantly black, the black folks are living in squalor many times, in shanty towns and in rundown neighborhoods, and the white minority is living behind gated communities with nice homes. And even though they're the minority, as far as the politics and economy, they're the majority because they still dominate everything. And so even when Nelson Mandela was in power, you had a younger generation that had some resentment toward, him, because they felt like he didn't do enough to shift the power back towards the people of the land. In other words, they more or less felt like the whites who actually were running the country still basically put him up as a figurehead to try and stop black people from going full-blown revolutionary mode. So they used him to try to pacify the people in their own land.
And they still do that today. That that lawyer Crump, Tamir Rice's mother came out and talked about him, and she said she had some things that she wanted to say, but he told her, no, can't say that because people don't like an angry black woman. So you got to say this, talk about forgiveness and tell people not to riot and do all that stuff. This is why you always see the victims of these shootings and these lynchings saying the same thing. Oh, I want peace. Oh, I forgive them. Oh, they being coaxed. They know that these people are hurting, and they know that these people, it's hard to think right when you're in grief, and they be coming in there forcing them people to say the things that they want them to say. Oh, don't be mad, forgive. Yeah, we know it was wrong,
because they want to get them that bag.
Yeah. It was that one girl that walked in that man's house, shot him. It was his own house. Someone, she thought it was hers. Man got a Essence poster on the wall, but she talking about something. Oh, I thought it was my house, and she shot that man. And then they even tried to go in there and say, "Oh, well, he had weed in the house." I'm like, bro, seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously. You still the man clearly is in the clear, and you gonna tell me something? She had weed in the house, like, and then the judge gave her a Bible and hugged her, came off the bench.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was
sick.
That was so disgusting. I mean, the stuff that they do, it's like, man. And then let's talk about Belgium and the chocolate hands. Not to what is that, King Leopold, how he used to sever the hands of the people and chop up children. I mean, I remember seeing a picture once of this man. He was just sitting there looking at a hand on the ground, and it was his 5-year-old daughter that they had hacked up, and all that was left was her hand.
Wow.
Yeah, that's messed up.
That is messed up. So they're selling chocolates though. It's like, I mean, we are the only ones that they do that to. They're not selling little mini gas chambers to Jews.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But they'll grab these little chocolate hands, like, and then the chocolate, you know where it's coming from, Africa.
Right.
And they're gonna just like such a big diss. It's like so disrespectful, so ugly, so evil and wicked that they just make a mockery of people's pain and suffering.
Well, when they were lynching us, they were taking parts of our bodies and keeping them as souvenirs.
Yep.
That was some kind of ritualistic thing too. I think this country was founded on some type of witchcraft or rituals. I mean,
it was. I
mean, you cutting up people and taking their body parts and stuff and burning them and cutting their fingers off. That's just wicked. I mean, that doesn't seem like the people were human that were doing that. I mean, how can you sell postcards to that? Like it was an event. How could you leave church or the circus? I guess you could, and go pick a Negro and do that.
Right. I mean, they turned Nat Turner into lampshades and all kinds of furniture. They took his body and turned it into souvenirs, into furniture. There are pictures of where they've taken the hairs of slaves and used them for stuffing, for furniture, and other things of this sort. And so, I mean, the history, B'nai Israel does a great job of bringing out a lot of the history, how they were cannibalizing us and eating us and things of this sort. And so, there's got to be a serious retribution. There's going to be, payment for all of these things. Charles West, you're exactly right. They turned us into shoes. They did, all of these different things. When I was living in Southern California, and I used to sometimes go on the reservations, and I would find out certain history about certain parts and certain areas in California where there was a lot of violence. And I remember one of their shaman or spiritual leaders has said, well, he said their ancestors had cursed the land because of how white people came in and took the land. And so, and they put curses on the land, you know, and, you know, in response to what folks did. And I thought about the areas that he was telling me they did this. And now, if you think, you know, some of the places they put those curses on it, it's now where white people are having the highest amount of meth and all these other kind of things that are happening and going on in places that they took from people that were native to the lands that they take it from. And so all that stuff is coming back, you know, in a big way. I mean, there's a reason why, I think last time I checked, and this could be different by now, but at one point, the white birth rate was 0. So they were dying as fast as they were being born. And this is why you start to see now this big push toward they pushing the interracial thing a lot of times.
Yes.
They're trying to survive.
Yep. That's
you
true.
know, and they see that what's happening is that within the next few years, they're going to become a minority in places where they've once been a majority. This is why they're trying to stop all those people from coming to Europe and things of this sort. We're multiplying continuously, and they're not multiplying fast enough to keep up.
But they're still saying we're only like 13%. I mean, why doesn't the number change? I mean, or is it because of abortion?
No, I think they're flipping that number.
The 13% number is pretty accurate because the United States manages the number of blacks in the country to keep it always at the same percentage. However, worldwide, black people are the dominant majority by far. Worldwide, we're the majority. But in the United States, they're very systematic at making sure they'll let everyone else in and not let us in. This is why if you can be from any Central American or South American country that's not predominantly black or of African ancestry, and you can come here, but if you come from Haiti on a boat, they push that boat right back into the ocean. But everybody else, they just welcome them on in and give them great opportunity. They manage our numbers because they're free. Just like in slavery, when the slaves began to multiply, they started asking Europe to send more people to increase their numbers because they were afraid that if blacks multiplied and Native Americans recovered their numbers, they would find themselves in the middle of a hostile majority. So they had to increase their numbers and increase their brutality to try to minimize our numbers and control us. The response by white society to the progress of black people has always been violence.
Yeah.
It's never been, hey, can we partner with you guys? It's always been violence. This is how they do things. You know, you look at how they did contracts and things of this sort, how they end up taking a lot of Africa is you present these chieftains who don't speak your language with contracts written in your language and then have them write an X or a mark. And then you go in there and you take the rest of their land. And then you use what they call manifest destiny, meaning that they have the God-given right to civilize everyone else. To be civilized means that you're already civil, not that you're a savage. And they came everywhere where there was already civilization, and they brought savagery.
Yes, they did. Murder, savagery, raping, pillaging, disease. Let's not forget the disease. They're still doing that today. You know, experimenting and coming up with Ebola. I mean, these are man-made diseases with patents. These aren't just natural occurrences, because our bodies can fight off things. That's how y'all designed us. But they create these things like the cookie stuff.
Yep. When you think about the Native American, how, you know, they single-handedly put smallpox in the blankets.
Who does that? You know,
I'm like
we're God-fearing people, and we're just going to disease up this blanket, and we're going to give it to you because that's how he would want us to do. That's what he would want us to do. It really is. I really feel in my soul he wants me to give you this blanket. Can you raise your hand? Can you raise your hand? Let's just wave our hand. Let's just do that.
Well, their Washington Monument, you know how they say the country is based on the founding of God. But the Washington Monument, there's 12 inches and 1 foot. The Washington Monument is 555 feet tall and 555.5 feet wide. And when you translate that into inches, it's 6,666 inches tall. And then it's 55.5 feet wide. But do that with inches, it's 666 inches wide.
Wow.
And it's in line. You can, with other monuments and stuff in the area, you can actually draw out a pentagram with that to the
That's
Capitol
awful.
building.
So it is like that Freemasonry.
Correct. It was
Masonry.
Freemasons. Yep. It was all Freemasons. Yep. Because they were all doing that. The hidden hand. That's why you see a lot of them taking those pictures, all the forefathers with their hand in the jacket. That's them. That's that Freemason thing. It's called the hidden hand.
The hidden hand.
Yep. They'll have their hand in their pocket in there. And then some of them do the doggone Satan thing where as so above, so above as below. You see the one hand pointing up and the one hand down. Yeah. They do that too in those pictures. So all these jokers been connected in these demonic cabals for years, talking about, in God we trust, but putting the all-seeing eye on the money.
So it's their God. They're not. That's because Yah has a name. Yahuwah has a name. So they're saying God like a generic term because then that could just be
anything.
Yeah.
Right. And our people are coming. Like I said, I'm proud of us because I see us continuing to stand strong, progress, and prosper even in the midst of all of the hostility. And that's what I say. If they want to really destroy us, leave us alone. But because they keep persecuting us and they keep trying to press us down, the Most High keeps raising us up because we are people with a word on us. And when you got a word on your life, can't nobody stop it.
That's right. Whom He has chosen to bless, no one could stop.
That's right. Can't nobody stop it. And so the reverse now, what they've done, the same way Balaam told Balak, I can't curse them. But what he did was he came up with a way to try to get the people to curse themselves. And so what we see going on in many of our inner city communities with the black on black crime and things of this sort is they create conditions that would cause us, by corralling us in and putting us on top of each other and creating these degrading conditions and then removing fathers from the home, all the division among us. It's all a master plan to get us to turn on ourselves and work for them.
Yes, destabilizing the home. Yes.
Yep. So it's the same game plan that Balaam gave Balak against the children of Israel.
Yep.
It's the same thing. So we just, like I said, we have to, and this is, like I said, we got to walk this walk out by faith because only Yah can save us. And that's the message for us as Israel is we got to turn to Him like never before, because He will give us the ability to continue to rise up and even to fight, just like when they were in captivity and Haman tried to issue that decree. Hey, once the decree went out that we could fight back, y'all saw what happened.
Squad up.
And so they're trying to keep us minimized and disarmed and discombobulated so that we can't fight back.
Right.
But the Most High is raising us up even in the midst of persecution, because again, persecution is the fertilizer that makes His people grow. And we're growing.
Yes, we are.
And it stepped up a lot. It stepped up some last year, but it's here recently this year. It's been almost nonstop. So that lets you know something's brewing, because that spirit, man, it's out here wilding out. And that's typically what happens. The spirit have to manifest itself first before it be gone.
Agreed. And that's interesting that you said that, Mr. Blacktastic, because remember I said, I asked, Karis and you about, again, like people who do like martial arts and stuff like that, it was a big thing for me when I heard that, that we have no might in our hand. And so I began to think about, like, okay, then is there any point in any Israelite practicing, martial arts at all? Is there any point knowing that you can't use it? But what you just said, makes sense. It's like, hey, if God says give the go ahead and we do and we can defend ourselves, then yeah, there's very much value in learning, self defense and so forth.
And so it's like I said, you know, I don't claim to understand all the ways of the Most High, because the Bible says that His ways are beyond
Far beyond us.
searching out. But I trust it, and that's the main thing. When we came out of Egypt, He didn't give Moses a map. He said, "You're going to follow me. Follow the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night."
Right.
And that's what we were supposed to be focused on. And and our forefathers failed coming out of Egypt, and there's a desert full of their bones as a testimony and witness to their failure.
Yep.
I don't plan on letting my bones join that graveyard, because we are the descendants of the generation that survived. And so it's meant for us to make it and to survive. And we got to hold on to the Most High, and we got to hold on to each other, and we got to lift each other up and edify one another as much as possible. And the one thing that they don't want to see is us ever unified.
Right.
Unified people is impossible to break.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what all this nonsense is coming in for. All the media stuff, the lies in the media and everything. It's all to bring confusion and to have us just in disarray. Because if you don't know what's going on, and one person thinking this way, one person thinking that way, it's like you said, it's no unity. You can't survive that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you, they meant it for us, but it's happening to them. Because I'd be on Twitter, man, and I'm looking at some of these conversations of these folks, and boy, these Europeans is going in, and the arguments that they have are just insane. Like, there was a dude, he's saying that if they were talking against the lollipop, and he was like, "Oh, well, you don't know how a plane works, and you don't know how a car works, but you still get in those. You don't know what you're talking about." And usually I just let these fools talk, and I don't say the. But I'm like, bro, that's so ignorant. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, we have studies that have studied these things for long times. And I said, and nobody's like anti. I said, hey, measles, chickenpox, those things have been proven. Hey, that's cool. But this thing right here is just something different. I just feel, hey, somebody need to study this thing for a little bit. Oh, you don't know how cars work. You don't know how planes work, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, I got time today. And I went to explain to him how a plane works. I'm like, well, no, the plane actually generates lift and drag. Use the flaps to direct the air pressure so it's able to propel itself up through the sky. Just went down and said the whole thing. And he ain't had nothing to say after that. Because they, it's just they ignorant, man. It's just so much ignorance in there. And they are divided like bad to the point of just, it's absurd.
Wow.
It's bad. I look at Twitter now and just laugh because it's terrible, man.
Yeah. And then sometimes if you read the comments, I was telling Sister E earlier, it's like I had made the mistake of reading the comments from some ABC News affiliate or something, and they were interviewing the mom of Dwayne Wright. I think her name is Katie. And she was standing there just sharing, the last few minutes of her son's life. So I browsed down in the comments section, just, I don't know why I did that. Why did I do that? Because I just sorely regret it, because those people were so inhumane. They were like, well, you're going to get a lot of money now. Well, all he had to do was pull over. I mean, just different people just saying different things. I mean, just comment after comment of negativity. And I really, really wanted to say something, but it's like, I don't want those people coming after me or whatever with their ignorance. And I just didn't think very well of them at that moment. I didn't have good thoughts.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
It was just so sad. It's like, how can you think that about another human being? It's like, this woman just lost her son. And all you can say is, well, the first comment was she's going to get a lot of money, or he should have. And then the second was something along that line that he should have obeyed the law. And, I heard he had a felony, or he shouldn't have been driving without this or that. But whatever the case, people have stormed the Capitol. White people stormed the Capitol with weapons, with guns, and they came out alive. So they can miss me with that. I mean, they can take several seats. Like I told Sister E, they can go to the furniture store and sit in every last one of those seats in that store.
That's facts.
Yeah, you're telling the truth. Because what you're saying now is just media is, like I said, all of a sudden they care about us black folks. And they never cared about us before.
And give us a free lollipop.
Every 5 minutes, I'm seeing something come up. Police officer shot. And I'm like, y'all been shooting It grows for centuries. So now all of a sudden it's mainstream media and people are shocked by it. I'm shocked by people being shocked. I'm like, when we have photos, we have pictures of them hanging people from trees, cutting their genitalia off. Lynching was not only just putting them on a, hanging them, they would cut their genitalia.
That made no sense. They were
And
wicked,
stuff it down their mouths.
just nasty.
They did the grossest stuff.
They just, it didn't even seem human. Like, it's like, I swear for squirrels in the street. Okay, I talk a tough talk, but
You say you swear for squirrels in the
I swear. I don't even like squirrels, but
I be like, oh well, squirrel, you finna go meet the father.
Y'all are something else. But that's all the media has been doing, and I see it. They're trying to push something.
They are.
They trying to push something, and people are like, you know what? I purposely leave the news on at night. So if something go down, I could hear it in my sleep and wake up and pay attention. Because lo and behold, something happened and I don't hear it. And wake up in the morning and be like, oh, normal day. I live in a major metropolitan city now. I need to know what's going on at all times. Because usually when something goes down, it goes down in my area. So it's like, let me make sure I'm very aware. I wasn't here in the area when it happened, when June 6th happened. I was actually at home, but I was like, man, I was about to get on the road and go home. You remember that Blacktastic? Everybody was like, no, don't get on the road. I'm like, I am ready to go home. This lady in this house called my mother is going to make me jump out the window, jump off the roof of the house. And I said, I got to go home. But I stayed home an additional couple of days. But yeah, it's interesting now. All of a sudden they care. If you care, give me reparation. Have you noticed that they've been talking about reparation a little bit more?
There's a committee on it now, actually. And I think they've been kind of doing some interesting stuff. I've been kind of keeping an eye on it because I've been shocked. I've heard that word and actually heard a committee being formed. I'm like, oh, yeah?
Yeah. If they give us reparation, they can give us $10. Them folks going to be ready to do the jig in the middle of the street.
They gonna give us they have to give us more than 10. Did you see that thing from 34 Jazzy? Did you see that comment?
No, what I said.
I didn't hear about that.
Oh wow.
Wow. I didn't know. I didn't even hear it. See?
Where are they getting that from? I guess I know where they're getting it from.
I didn't hear about that one.
That's awful. That's just wicked, nasty.
I saw that. I was like, yeah.
I hope that's not true.
I hope not either.
But see, now you're dealing with China now. This is Gog and Magog.
Yeah.
The Chinese, the Chinese are basically yellow white people.
Oh,
because,
are they gonna, put it in the food? Ooh, see, most of the stuff made in China.
I mean, the Chinese, they stick close to white culture because they see white people as being on top. Now, the Chinese, though, you got to know their history and their whole culture. Let me ask y'all this. Let's just give you a idea of how the Chinese work. What happened to the Mongol Empire? The last thing you hear about the Mongols, as great as an empire as that was that they conquered China, but the next thing you know, where the Mongols once were, what was once a Mongolian dynasty now becomes a Chinese dynasty. The Chinese absorbed the Mongols, and the Mongols faded out of history. The Chinese play a long game.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world is always talking about this is chess and not checkers. The Chinese play a game called Go.
Yeah.
See, in checkers and chess, the object is to conquer pieces. In the game of Go, the object is to conquer the board.
Yeah.
So they have a different mentality in terms of the way they go about doing things. And they'll wait till they're in a position before you really get to see what they're up to. Right now, the Chinese government operates by a policy called debt diplomacy. This is how they've been doing to Africa and to other black nations in the Pacific.
Yep.
And what they do is they go in and say, we'll give you X amount of money to help build your infrastructure. And what we'll take as collateral is pieces of your land and your resources. And they give them these exorbitant high loans with these ridiculous interest rates. And so the moment that nation defaults, they take over that part of the country or those resources. And now they're able to bring in their military to protect it, and they begin to bring in their people to occupy that territory in that country and live there. And so, and they've been doing this for some time now. So the Chinese are nobody's friends but the Chinese. They're in trouble because of things I said on Facebook concerning the Chinese, but I'm very familiar with the culture. I read their philosophy. And so I'm not surprised by what I'm seeing, you know, because like I said, they're playing a long game, you know, but they're part of that group of Gog and Magog that's going to come against the children of the Most High, against Israel in the last days to try and destroy and help wipe it off the face of the earth. And so, you know, these folks, you know, all of this stuff with the stop violence against Asians, that's so preposterous that even other Asians are calling it out for hypocrisy.
So that's basically, people are at war with us, but we're thinking they're just playing hopscotch or whatever, and we're just laughing along. But they really hate us, and we are going about our business like, oh, it's okay. They don't really hate us. They're just having a bad day.
No, they play the game. They play the game. It's a cerebral game and it's a psychological game. Everything Black Tastic said is like 100% because I'm big on Asian culture and stuff too. And Go is a very complicated game. Like Go masters are ridiculous. And that's how they play. Like in the South China Sea, they wanted to claim that sea. So they built man-made islands down there to play the stockade. And then now they got like 200 ships down there with people from just, you know, mercenaries just sitting there in the sea to try to take it over. Like it's getting real bad down there.
Yep.
That's that thing that they got right there. They found the 7,200 human penises on the cargo ship.
From Nigeria. Oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah. And they say each one of them is worth about $160,000 each. So it's like 1.15 billion in what they found.
What are they planning to do with them? That's what I'm confused.
It's so nasty. They probably eat them. They're just nasty.
They're going to do that. They're going to do something like they do with, you know, with animals and try to make some type of saying, hey, if you take this like a Viagra or something ridiculous associated with that.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's probably some fertility thing.
It's just,
wow.
It's crazy.
That's wrong. And they probably killed them, and they weren't like, you know,
it makes no sense. They hate us, but they want to be us at the same time. That's the part that's just so interesting.
That's
because
weird. That's
there was a website that talked about how, you know, the most visited websites on the web, and then they did statistics from Pornhub, and the top category was a category with black men. And it's like, y'all hate us, but then you want to fetishize us in this weird, nasty, disgusting stuff. It's like, that's just gross. Like that. I don't know why they are so obsessed with us in all of those wicked ways. Like it's gross, man. That's the weirdest thing to me. I never understood that. It's so weird.
Yeah, you know, I had shown on my channel. I was showing. Was it last week? I think before I went on my short vacation. How that, you know, the Chinese view us. You see it in the anime. You see it in the illustration thing.
Oh, pull that up. Can you pull that up, Mr. Blacktastic? Yes,
I can pull that up. Matter of fact,
that commercial where the lady stuffed the black man in the
No, he had the actual anime. Their cartoon, their actual cartoon figures that they are showing now. You know, in cartoons that they show their children, that I think it shows over here too as well. It's in I don't know the names of these cartoons, but
I know they have that museum too where they walk in and they have like pictures of black folks next to animals and junk.
This just, you know, that how could they miss that when they say, you know that we're hating on them and all the hate that they show us.
Right. And I mean, this is something like, say, you know, and then you ask yourself, where did they get this ideology from. They got it from Europeans. They got it from white society. They got it from white culture because they character us the same way white culture has, and now they pump that, into the media and things of this sort. It shows you, how they really look at us, and so it's like they're basically pulling up the images of the coon and saying that this represents black people.
Right.
There's a store actually in some Southeast Asia called Nigger King.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I've seen that.
The store where they and so it's all of these these different things. So and so like I said, it's this whole stop violence against Asians, but nobody's ever told Asians to stop violence against black folks.
Nope.
Nope.
That's justified because they had a warrant, or they kicked a puppy, or not even a puppy. They kicked a grasshopper one day.
In fact, let me see. I'm pulling it up for you, Rama. Let me get it. Here, just taking my computer.
There's a channel, I think it's called Black Experience Japan, and there was a guy who was telling a story on there about how he came across. The dude was actually Chinese. He met a Chinese guy in Japan, and he helped the guy out. He was drunk and he was having issues, and the black dude knew his way around because he lived there, and he helped him out. And then he said the dude called him later on because he had exchanged numbers with him, and he's like, I've never met a black person before. You're the first person I met, and I've always assumed that you were all violent and criminals because that's what this white guy I met told me. And he's like, now that I've met you, you're nothing like what the white guy said and stuff. And he's like, it's crazy. I've gained, he called him his African brother. And, that just goes to show, it's just like what Black Texas said. They learned that from the Europeans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me see if I can.
But it goes back into that spirit of racism. Watching that show today again was kind of like, that's why probably Pastor Kelly ain't in the chat, because he binge watching it. Because a couple of people have told him to watch it. I told Blacktastic to watch it. Teo and them probably ain't in the chat because they watching it too. Because it's like, y'all gotta watch this, and it gives you the spirit behind racism.
Oh, the them.
So Sister Eve, you can share. Let me see. I just put it up.
That's us.
Uh-oh. She said, I'm gonna put it up, and then left.
And she disappeared. They got her.
Renee Zellweger.
I was just gonna say they replacing. Oh yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's
Oh no,
Dragon Ball.
Popo. Yep, that's from Dragon Ball. Yep, that's Popo. Yep.
Yeah, the guy in the middle is from the anime called One Punch Man.
One Punch Man.
Black luster. They couldn't think of no other name better. Black luster. Black and shiny. That's what that means.
Yep. And that's where they get it from, the images from over here. That's exactly it.
And then when you ask yourself, well, where did they get the idea for these images? They got the idea of these images from places like this.
Yep.
Coon Chicken, a whole restaurant chain that existed in the 50s.
Wow. That's
and you go back further than that, and you see the other, characters that they made of us here. Cartoons that were made about black people. And so if you ever want to know what do Asians really think about you, all you got to do is look at these types of images. Because this is what shows. And so that's where they got the idea for these other images that they have.
Yep. It's true.
Just look at the similarity.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, there's very few of them that do it good. There's one anime called Black Lagoon where the black guy is actually solid. And I'm like, dang, man, that's what's up. There's some of them that's good, but some of them, there's another one. It was called Tenjo Tenge. And they had a black dude in there called Bob. And basically his superpower was his genitals. Like, that's all they talked about was his genitals. And his, the stereotypical thing they talk about with black men's genitals. And I'm like, bro, seriously? Like, everybody else got all these other crazy chi abilities. And this dude, I want to talk about his genitals. I'm like, come on, man. Stop that. Stop it. But they get that from over here because it goes back even to slavery with the lynching. They was just obsessed with our genitals. It's this gross and weird.
Someone said they're going to do those implants. They're going to be implants, but that doesn't make sense because you can. I forgot
to add myself back in. I've been talking the whole time.
You were.
And I looked, I said, why am I grayed out? And I said, I'm a little special.
We thought they was getting you ready for the replacement. You was going to come back with a craft beer and a little dog.
I got a message from Renee. She was like, I'm coming.
You know what? I'm not bothered about y'all. I'm not bothered about y'all.
The new Sister E show starring Renee Zellweger.
It's gonna be Sister Renee show. Let's talk
Sister R.
Y'all are special.
She's not gonna be sister. She's gonna be sister.
Sister, you got to spell it right. You got to spell it right.
I'll give you another example. Most of us are old enough to remember Tom and Jerry, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now you remember Tom and Jerry they were either at one of two houses. When they were at the house with the white lady, she had nice legs, a nice voice, and a nice house.
Yep.
Now when they was at the black woman's house,
yep.
She didn't even call the cat Thomas. She called him Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
And she would say stupid stuff like, Jasper, I want you out. OWT out.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
With some knee highs on.
Yeah, those rolled up stockings.
Mm-hmm. Looking like a mammy.
With some house shoes, some old funny little shoes that she. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep, she was a mammy character.
She was a mammy. Yep.
And that's kind of stuff that. So I'm like, this was in the animation. So the way that white society portrays us is the cue that the rest of the world has taken and saying, well, it's all right to do that to them.
Right.
You all do some research on what's happening right now because we have black countries, black nations in the in Southeast Asia, and go and look up how Indonesia right now is doing the blacks in Papua New Guinea and in other countries.
What?
How they're brutalizing them, and then how the Exxon Oil Corporation, which has its own private army, and has no allegiance to any country, they're basically autonomous. They operate by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And how they're uprooting a lot of those people from their lands to take over the resources.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard about that. This was some years ago. Are they still doing that?
They're still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the people are fighting back the best way they can. They're even making weapons to fight back. Because they're literally trying to, cause right now under the radar while the rest of the world is focused elsewhere, they're literally trying to wipe these people out so they can take over their lands.
This is wicked. It's just,
They've been doing it for years. They, the original Aborigines, they had, curly hair and everything. And they basically came in, and the ones they couldn't kill off, they tried to breed them out. So now most of the Aborigines have straight hair because they came in and colonialized, and that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They try to breed them out.
Mm-hmm. Just like in Australia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's Australia. Yeah, with the Aborigines. Yep, they did it in Egypt. That's why Egyptians, look the way they look now. They did it all over.
Well, the ones that they put on camera, they don't always take pictures of the original. I think they are more original than the extra crispy.
Yeah. Even in India, like India is the same thing, and they have that colorism stuff. Because I like Bollywood films and stuff, and I remember watching Singham. And I love Singham.
That's my boy.
Yes, sir. And the bad guy was the dark-skinned Indian guy. Yeah. All the good guys were the light-skinned Indian guys, and I'm like, this goes on even over here. Like, this is crazy.
Yep, and on what's that, Latino TV or Mexican TV? Those dramas they have. They always show the light-skinned people or the lighter Latino Hispanics.
Yeah, you're more European-looking Hispanics. And I mean, I used to see it in. I lived in a Mexican neighborhood also in Southern California, and I would see how a lot, even amongst the Mexicans, they would complain about how the more European Mexicans were, always trying to dominate the darker skinned ones and how they were the ones making that main distinction. So it's a colorism thing amongst other populations too. It's not just us.
Mm-hmm.
And they always are trying to do that, particular thing. And so it's the psychology of white supremacy is the number one, type of terrorism on the face of this planet right now. But they want us to believe that it's other people. But they went over there and started messing with those people and taking their resources. And now they call those folks the terrorists when they were the original terrorists.
Yes.
Right. It's funny.
It's so interesting because if you know the history of like Cuban jazz, you know about Cecilia Cruz. Cecilia Cruz was a darker skinned, like more melanated Cuban. She was black, pretty much. What we consider black in the sense of the word of how they, label us. But I think her sister, because I saw a documentary on her sister, was a whiter complexion, and they really wanted her to be the face. But Cecilia Cruz had such a voice that they had to go ahead and just give her props. I like Cecilia Cruz. I've listened to her before. My house, we love jazz in this house.
Good night. I know y'all about y'all.
Y'all, I know we gonna be up all night. Cause we can talk. We can definitely talk. But y'all got anything else y'all wanna bring up before we close shop?
I just remember Sister Rochelle, Ishan's mom.
Yes.
She had mentioned that she was in the hospital, so we prayed for her yesterday. But just remind everybody else to lift up our sister in prayer because she normally be rocking with us.
Yes, she will.
And so lift her up in prayer. Pray for Sister Melinda, who's going to Egypt. I think she said on tomorrow.
Sister Melinda, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me nothing, Sister Melinda Melody.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I'm sorry, my microphone, y'all. I must have sound far away. Wow. Well, I wish I have a safe and wonderful trip. And
wait a minute, when she said she's going to Egypt, wasn't that like going to work? Because sometimes we say that. Like I got to go to work in the morning, but sometimes I'll say the sugar plantation or Egypt. Egypt is sometimes work.
I don't know.
So
we'll see if she in the chat on tomorrow when I do the benign Israel. Answer the question.
Like, did you go to actual Egypt? Because sometimes we call the work Egypt.
Or did you go to bondage? Bondage. They say Egypt symbolizes bondage.
Mizraim. Mizraim. Okay.
Man, it'd be like I'm going to work. It'd be like bondage. Egypt means bondage. So.
Oh, Angie loves you. I said she's going to work.
She's going to work.
She's going to Egypt.
Say good morning to everybody so they know that I'm always around.
Melinda got me thinking she's going on an exciting trip. She's going to work.
She's gonna go find all them pharaohs. They moved.
She's gonna be talking about some saints. They got me making bricks without straw.
Girl, they was trying to take me out. I had to hop in this basket and float up the river.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
There's something wrong with y'all.
Then it went dark and all these flies came around and the water turned red. Girl, I ain't going back to Egypt no more. They went crazy.
Going to Egypt.
Yeah, me all tricked. I'm like, oh, you going to Egypt?
Oh my goodness. I am crying here.
All people, boy, you gotta watch.
In my mind, you know how you see people, and I can just see her catching her flights.
That's what I said. If we see her tomorrow, we know she ain't go to Egypt because she would not be listening to the night Israel talking if she was in Egypt.
Went to Egypt.
throwing each other off. Be like, you see them the next day, be like, how was Egypt? Man, I ain't going nowhere but Compton.
She went to work.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to use that one. I'm going to Egypt. Y'all pray for me. I have a safe flight. Ships, both right. Ships and Tarshish are taking me.
I walked out the office and there was a puddle there, girl. I threw my number 2 pencil down and that puddle went away.
It don't split.
I walked in dry land in my car.
How you
There's something really wrong with y'all.
Yeah, they sleepy. That's what it is.
They get delirious.
Oh my goodness, that was funny though. Fantastic. That was funny.
Al, I got to go see Pharaoh.
You were
What
so
that mean?
serious too. You probably had that serious look on your face. Pray for Sister.
So we gotta pray for Sister Melinda.
She go.
Al, I had to see Pharaoh. What that mean? I had a employee evaluation.
Oh, what's the
There's something really wrong with y'all.
Help us, Lord. Oh, help us. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it because we'll be here laughing. Make the Lord wise.
Oh man.
Oh, no. You going to Egypt? Who gotta go to Egypt in the morning?
I gotta log into Egypt in the morning.
Put a 1 in the chat if you gotta go to Egypt in the morning.
They said I sound muffled. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. I got to go to Potiphar's house in the morning.
Put on your running shoes.
Yeah.
And stay away from that lady.
That's a mace for Miss Potiphar. Get your hands off me.
You gotta go to Potiphar's house.
Don't leave no clothes either. You know how she do.
Like, don't make me run dirty.
Hey, man, it's a setup. It's a setup.
Here come Miss Potiphar. Hold on, let me pump my shoes up. Let me put some air in them.
Why the Hebrews gotta go to Egypt in the morning? You gotta pray, Mr. Black Jesse.
Hey, Talisha's right. They're gonna be like, man, them Hebrews was on there drinking.
They're gonna do a 12-hour live.
You're
not allowed to be happy.
You're not drunk as many as you're supposed.
They don't
I
like
did not hear
happy
one
Hebrews.
praise the Lord.
They don't like happy Hebrews. They want us angry in Power Ranger uniforms, screaming and cussing people out.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know we be talking in codes, boy. I got to cross Jordan tomorrow. Where that at? You know, Jordan Street.
Look both ways before you cross Jordan.
Right.
Watch the cars and not the light, okay?
Oh man.
I'm speaking a pathetic word.
And they came out with great spoil.
Right. I can't believe
Folks be like, man, we got rid of some coons today. We told them you cannot inherit. You are the son of the bondwoman. You got to go.
Man, when I found out that the guy he told Mike Holloway, I had to get rid of, what did he say? And put away the bondwoman and her son. I said, what is his name? And he just messaged me today, and he said that in a chat we was all in.
I think that was Matatayu that did that. I think that was him that said that.
And he blocked Mike when he did it. I said, you know what?
Yeah, somebody put Mike out. They said, no, we can't have, you got to be cast out with your bondwoman and her son or something. I was cracking it.
Oh my God. Mike knows. He don't get no love. He gets no love. Mike gets none whatsoever.
Oh, why y'all do Mike like that? He was just hanging out in the chat.
Hanging out in the chat.
Put away her bone. Yes, I remember. That is so funny. When you showed me that, I was like, I am so over it.
You tell him get some.
Oh, he said it wasn't him.
Well, he was the one that made that comment though, which I was cracking up about. That was I was laughing at. He said, "Yeah, we can't have." He said, "Yeah, we gotta cast the bondwoman out of her son." yeah, he didn't block it, but he made that comment. Boy, I was cracking up. I said, "Why y'all do Mike like that?"
Cause Mike needs prayer. A serious prayer.
Mm-hmm. All right, my sisters, my brothers. I'm
I'm
gonna
ready
head
to-
on out.
Yeah,
Yep, me too. We'll be all night laughing.
I know.
So, well, y'all tune in on tomorrow because, like I said, I'm doing something with Benaya on tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern.
I'll be
9 p.m.
So,
Eastern. So
8
that's an
o'clock.
hour. I'm Central.
Yep.
Oh, but I got to do a thing with the Shonda. We have a Zoom.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
y'all willing, I'll be there. I'm
I might be a little late.
Okay,
Not
cool. Well,
willing.
come
Not
on.
willing.
Start Porky Pig.
Oh, y'all are crazy. Okay, I'm putting out here music.
That's awful.
I mean,
Oh
I got
my.
brothers that's wolves. You know, some of my brothers is wolves. That's cool. I associate with them.
Oh, Michael. Oh, Mike. He can't get it together. Y'all about to just drive the man crazy.
All right, we all have
All
a
right.
good night.
Y'all do the same. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all tomorrow again, 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right, shalom, fam.
Shalom.
Love you, family on the chat. Love you.
All right. Good night, all.
Good night.